beautiful people. Happiest of Saturdays if you are watching while we are live. If not, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, as my good friend Tatiana would say. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We're here to go over our weekly review of Married at First Sight. I do have a life, so I'm just going to review all 3 episodes, episodes 7, 8, and 9 in one video. But we do have James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews, who is here to help us. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, everybody, or afternoon for me, but good morning, everybody. I hope you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts on this show because lots going on that we got to talk about.
There is a lot going on that we have to discuss that stress me out. Let me blur my background. I'm about to cook and there's hella stuff going on. But please tap in to the links in the description of this video. There are links to James's channel as well as Life with Leisha TV, Black Girls Den Podcast, Q1J TV, Shayna_MCD, and some other great content creators. I also want to greet our moderator. Hello, AB, and thank you for being here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, AB. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
From the first group dinner to the couples navigated major relationship challenges and the franchise's first group therapy session, there's a lot to unpack. I heard that they were doing the group therapy in the overseas version of Married at First Sight, and that this is new for the American side. Personally, the way that they push them together, I like that they have group therapy because I feel like there's always that one person in the group that thinks they know so much about relationships, Adam, and has such an opinion. And half the time, the people with the biggest opinions on relationships be wrong. And honestly, you guys are on a show called Married at First Sight. So I don't take any of these people's opinions with relationships seriously if you are this desperate to have to go on a television show and marry a complete stranger. Sorry, not sorry. It's true. Don't be mad at me. I found mine the old school way. Please like, comment, and subscribe to ensure it moves up in the algorithm. Please do, you guys. You guys have been doing a really good job at subscribing as well as liking the video. I'm also been seeing a lot of new comments. Hey, Thug Life, I'm glad y'all figuring out I don't bite. At least not on the internet. Hi. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Super chats are also a way to help, as well as a super thanks. I am learning about those. I'm still new to them. But you can also simply hype the video. That is free. That is free. And whether your super chat is 99 cents or $5, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's both that I had. We are seeing the major cracks in all of the couples, and the only couple who's going to make it is Cameron and Michelle. I had a feeling Cameron and Michelle would make it at the beginning, and they are still together in real time. I believe they are the only couple that is still together.
Oh, wow.
Fact, Cameron is up here in the Bay Area right now. He is a coach for Cal State University East Bay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, CSUEB, shout out to them. My dad went there, and half of my high school for those who did go to college. So shout out to CSUEB. It's a great school. It really is a great school. So I always shout them out. And they have a program that helps foster kids. They do. My friend Jasmine was in foster care. Shout out to Jasmine. But they have a program where if you are a foster youth in the Bay Area and you apply to go to Cal State East Bay, any of their campuses, they will help you with your tuition if you like do summer school or something. I thought that was cool. Anywho. Adam and Mecca and Sean worked my nerves. You know who worked my nerves that I didn't expect to work my nerves? Nick. He got on my nerves.
I warned her about this.
He annoyed me. He annoyed the absolute crap out of me.
Yep.
Felipe also worked. So all the men got on your nerves, AB. Cameron.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Felipe was annoying.
I see what you're saying.
Very problematic. AB says, oh, wow, Cameron got a new job. He said that. I mean, as a coach, especially a college coach, you're not going to just be there constantly. And even if you are, you're only coaching during basketball season. It's just a few months out the year. So I'm not surprised. He also explained that to her when they were talking about who's going to move where and all of these things. Oh, yeah, Courtney. At this point, Courtney is a headache. Like if a headache had legs and hair and a mouth and parts, that it would be Courtney. It would literally be Courtney.
I can't wait to get into her segment. I just can't wait.
She annoys the crap out of me. My phone is dying, but we'll see if it works out. My notes are on my phone, y'all. I don't know why my phone is dying. I think I fell asleep without charging it. Anywho, we're going to start. This episode was a lot because it's episodes 7 and 8. I'm going to go over just by discussing what happened with the couples, as I always do. For episode 9, that is where I will bring up the group therapy. So after I go through all the couples is when I will discuss the group therapy. It just made more sense. So we are going to start with Adam and Marissa. He is the example of fake. He is the example of white corporate America. I don't mean that as a compliment.
I know you don't.
Like,
I was about to back you up and say, if the mustache didn't give it away, I don't know what else did.
That's the truth. I just don't like him. I don't like a know-it-all. And hold on.
Know-it-all, you know, very just kind of passive aggressively, just annoying. And then also one of those people who felt like his way is like the best way possible. Like, and when it's not. And I just feel like, to me, and I think Marissa's problem is she's just there for the ride. She don't care how bumpy, how shallow, how slim, how thick. She's just there for the ride. And I think that is a huge problem. Because to me, a lot of what she said in this scene, I know you're going to go over it. A lot of what the things that she said, I feel like, okay, well, you're repeating it and you don't realize it because you're being so passive, the same way you claimed your backstory was.
Now, they have a talk in episode 7 and 8, and she learns that Adam has wanted marriage since he was 18. I think that's a red flag.
Yep.
And I know y'all are looking at me like, Mrs. Bez, don't you say you got married at 19? I did get married at 19, but I was with my partner for 3.5 years prior to marrying him. So we were living together. We had an apartment together. Like, it's a little different. I think that wanting to have a wife at 18 is unrealistic. And I think something happened with his family that would make him want that. Most 18-year-olds are not thinking about marriage. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're not. So I find that odd. But he told her about his past relationships. But did anybody peep? Adam failed to mention that ex. I'm going to call her an ex. The one that Paul had to tell him to call to explain, hey, I'm about to get married. We can't date anymore. He didn't mention that woman at all. And I feel like he's not mentioning her on purpose. And that's extremely shady and shisty. He comes in to a session with the experts with her, and he used his outfit as a discusser, like as a way to discuss things. And some people use themselves and what they've been through or the things they've done to discuss stuff, and it's obnoxious every single time. It just is. It is. That'd be like if I'm dealing with like regular people, or with every single point I made on YouTube, I was like, well, you know, what they teach us in psychology is this and that. And, you know, you have to do this. Like, no, don't nobody want to hear that all the time. Like, it's okay to let it be about other people sometimes. You don't have to always talk about yourself. Adam has that problem. He brought that hat in and he used it as a way for people to talk. And the experts were watching everything and they were not aware of it, which I like, because a lot of these people are red flags. That's why they're on a show like this. So it makes sense to watch them, to see what they're doing. But he's classic narcissist. He's a classic narcissist. Not all narcissists are mean. Not all of them come off the way everyone thinks when they have like an ex, like, oh, you're just a narcissist. Like, narcissism can show itself in so many different ways and forms. And with him, he just finds ways to get the topic back onto him or his hobbies. Nobody likes that, bro. He's also not deep. And that comes up at the group dinner that they have. Everyone's like, okay, it doesn't seem like Marissa and Adam have gotten deep. She keeps saying it. He seems to kind of fight the fact that no one views him as deep. Marissa's aware of it, but like James said, she's way too passive. She's way too passive. If you know this about him, then try to have the deep conversation. You don't have to call him out about it, because I feel like sometimes the detriment and what unalives a relationship quickly is when people want to talk about every little thing. Not every little thing needs to be a discussion. Sometimes just put action instead of just. And Marissa ain't giving us no action. She just goes along with everything that he shows her, says, and that's not a real relationship. Now, apparently they have a plan for Marissa to come live in his lake house for a year with his homeless friend. I don't like that. Just say you're giving your friend a place to stay. And if you're giving your friend a place to stay, he's not homeless. But you want us to know that you're doing this friend a favor so that you can look good. Classic textbook narcissism. Cannot stand Adam. Everything he does is so that he can look a certain way. But after living in the lake house for a year, he's like, and then we could find a place. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I feel like he's going to ride that lake house and try to keep her there as long as he can. But Marissa says she's unsure about what she wants, but doesn't voice that. And I found it odd that in preparing for group therapy, there was a scene where Adam's talking to Marissa and he's like, yeah, well, you know, I've got some counter questions prepared for the therapist. And I'm like, I can't curse yet. Who prepares for therapy? Now, if you're preparing for therapy in the way that I have some friends who have therapy on certain days and they'll say, okay, I have therapy today, so I'm not going to schedule nothing after. Like for me, when I go to therapy, I need to find a therapist, but y'all know Kaiser don't like me, but I need to find a therapist myself. When I find a therapist on the days that I do therapy, I will not be on YouTube. There's too much, because if you're actually doing it right and discussing the stuff that bothers you in life that's causing you to be in therapy, you're going to need to take a pause from a lot afterward. So the fact that he was preparing for it in a way that was like responses, I've got some pushback for them. Why are you trying to compete with the expert? Didn't like that. But how did you feel about them up to this point?
Up to this point, I feel like their start off is very dangerous. I think for both of their detriments, not just Marissa's, but for Adams as well. I think, to me, I don't know if he really wants a wife because he really wants the idea of love, commitment, understanding, and somewhat of independence, and also dependent on someone else. I think he wants a wife really to control and manipulate through his personality. And I think that that is a very dangerous thing to do. I think that for me, looking at him and observing him, even the first few episodes, I feel like there is an amount of control that he has, but he does it in a way to where it's jokey and funny and kind of, torn off of who he really is. And I think that that confuses a lot of people that come in contact with him, especially the other men, because they see it, but because it's so funny and so joyous, like the class clown, they tend to turn a blind eye to the disgusting habits. A lot of people do that with the class clown, and that's who Adam is. I'm labeling Adam as a class clown because that's what he wants to be known as. That's what he wants to be seen as. And then I took a high offense as somebody who's been in therapy for 18 years, y'all. I took a high offense to someone say, well, I have questions for the therapist because I want to push back and challenge them to see how well they know this whole process and everything. Anyone who says things like that, that is disrespectful. Because a part of their job is to help you and help you find the ways for you to do the work on yourself to correct behaviors that are not appropriate for world society. That is what therapists are trained for. So for you to make a joke of it and make it seem like you know better than they know is absolutely crazy to me, because if you knew better, you wouldn't be here.
That's the truth. And that's that end part is really all it is. If you knew better, you wouldn't be here because you would have had your wife.
You would have had your wife.
You would have had her, especially as a man, a heterosexual man.
Yes.
You are the one that chooses to have a wife, who you marry, when you do it, what kind of ring, but you haven't been able to do that. Like, can't stand Adam. Can't stand him. My cat is meowing. American Born says Marissa is afraid to rock the boat.
Yes. And that's my problem with her. It's because she's letting way too much slide.
Good morning, Shani. Good morning.
Hi, Shani.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good
morning. What does it say? Oh, Snap Twin. That's why you didn't answer my messages, because she was on this live. I didn't know that you didn't say. You asked me about Love After Lockup. My bad. I was also like, I did not wake up that long ago. That's why I have my coffee and I'm just here. It's just easier to get everything done earlier because I have like 3 essays to write, a school discussion post, I have to deep clean my house. I usually do that on Fridays, but I have to do it today. And I have laundry. So I was like, let me get this out of the way. My bad, girl. But I am going to watch your messages after this live. Adam does want the attention. He does. A lot of people like attention. Attention is great. It feels good. The problem is a lot of people struggle to say that out loud, and then they go about getting and seeking attention in the wrong ways. It's concerning, but
absolutely.
Or maybe sometimes quiet works too. That's true.
It can, but not in this environment. This is where they need to speak up, but need to be their authentic selves, not the class clown image that you want people to see because you want to be liked at the end of the experience.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with that. I think if Adam were quiet, though, it would be too quiet also.
Yeah, it would be, because there's clearly issues here.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of issues here. So being quiet is not going to work if the end goal is you want to be loved, happy, and in a marriage.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes people get quiet when they need to leave too. Yeah. So that's why it's good, but it's not always good. If it's too early to curse, twin, you could always say filth, flarn, filth. Well, now I can't. I'm 16 minutes in. I can say what the fuck I want. I won't curse no more. Sorry to those watching. We're going to get into our next couple. We will come back to Adam and Marissa when it comes to... Actually, let me see. Yeah, I'll come back to them for the group dinner, because if I'm being honest, these group dinners were an absolute disaster.
Yes.
If I'm being honest, they were just a disaster. Before we get to the couples therapy, the next couple that we will be discussing is going to be Felipe and Tori. There's not much here before the group dinner or before the couples therapy, but they're okay. Now, the last time we saw Tori and Felipe, she got nervous because she felt like she opened up too much of herself. She says that she was in a vulnerable state. There's something deeper there, girl. There's definitely something deeper there, but go off. Say what you say, Tori. And she says that she wants to slow things down and kind of take it slow. I don't like when women do this. I think that that's where when men be like, oh, she's a tease, stuff like that. That's where you become one. Listen, you are entitled to feel how you feel. It is your body and your choice to do what you want. However, don't tease a man, sleep with the man. Now we know from the group therapy that she initiated sleeping with him just to run away and claim that you're uncomfortable. Now, you have a right to feel that way, but I could tell that her doing that did cause some problems with them. He has a worry that he's going to mess up the relationship and that they're going to lose their passion. More specifically, it seems like he worries he's going to lose his passion for her, maybe because he's not getting any as much as he wanted. And we do get to see that his parents come over to have breakfast, which I thought was nice. I thought that was nice, but it's too soon for them to be so involved. Listen, before you bring your family into it, you need to get to know your spouse on their own, married at first sight or not. Hell, y'all could have gotten married the traditional way. Until your relationship is like strong. The family stuff, people, I've noticed this with all of my single friends. Family is y'all's problem. People be too concerned either for their family liking and accepting someone, or they're just too concerned with their family's opinion of the someone that they've chosen. Or when they have problems with the person that they're with, they go and tell their family too much and then make it impossible for that person to ever win the family over. A lot of people let family ruin their opportunities for love. And then people who keep their family away think that they're better and they're no better, because when you keep your family away, now you're creating extra problems and you're creating secrets. And that's not healthy either.
No. So there has to be a balance. Yeah, there has to be a balance. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
If there's no balance, you're not going to make it. And then my other thing I feel like is people who come from families with like grandparents that have been married for like 65 years, like Marissa, or people who come from families with parents that have been together from the moment they got out of high school and stayed together and are still in love. They have an unrealistic expectation of love.
Yes.
And then it wards off the people that want to love them because they're expecting that whatever they saw with their other people. Like, I feel like Felipe and Tori's biggest problem outside of sex will be family.
Oh,
Because
of course.
like they just, in my opinion, they should not have been there. But I don't know. Felipe's dad did give him good advice and was like, I just keep choosing her. You have to get up and choose and do the work. It seems like Felipe has the foundation there, but he is proof that just because you have parents that love each other and a strong foundation, it doesn't mean that that's going to translate to your child, because Felipe's dad is nothing like him. Meanwhile, this fool seemed ready to cry over a lack of sex. But how did you feel about them in the group dinner and what we just discussed, not the therapy?
I think for me, the thing I'm observing with these two is that Felipe shares way too much, Tori doesn't share enough. And I think that to me, in this experience of them, it's hard to really understand watching, the small clips that we have, because we didn't really get, after she had sex, when she initiated it, why she ran to the couch. She gave a very vague explanation. And it's kind of like, well, why explain anything at all? Why just say, I just wasn't feeling it? Or why even bring it to camp? Why even bring it up? Just say, I went to the couch. But to try to internalize it the way that she did, ma'am, you married this man and you initiated it. Either you did it because you felt pressured, because that's what married people do. So you probably felt pressure to do it and realized when you found the pressure to do it, it wasn't the experience that you thought was going to be loving, because that's your husband, but you don't feel it. So that's why you shouldn't put expectations. If you're going to have sex, it strictly should be the sex. And that's it, because directly you don't love this man yet. So I think you're trying to put pressure on loving him and making that the verbiage of making love. Y'all are not there. And it's probably going to take you some time to get there. So that's one thing I noticed about that. The second thing with the family situation, I need more background in her family. I have his family very clear. I see what's going on. I see what it is. Where is your family?
I mean, she
Where's
explained when we met her that she's caring for her sister and paying for her sister's college, which to me told me, no disrespect to Tori's mother, that she may not be the most involved. It seems like the siblings are close because of the lack of what the mother could financially provide in terms of a future for the kids. But that's a good point. We don't know.
I feel like outside of that, we don't know. And I
We
feel
don't know
like, to
much
me,
about her
I feel
family.
like I understand it's not probably our place to know, but you signed up to be on reality TV and set a background of your family life and then showed it in some capacity. Now that this man is giving all of his family and you're indulging in the love and the experience that they are giving you, I feel like you need to give that too in some capacity. We could just see your sister and y'all could just explain, hey, mama wasn't there. I'm 15, 16 years older than you. So I have to, step up to the plate. That's a great story to tell. That's an amazing story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see the problem with it, but I don't know. Tori does give someone that's very reserved.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at her for that, but you know, I don't know what you laughing at, AB, but I want to laugh. Felipe, get away with us. Get away from us with that passion crap.
I
He was
agree.
finding a nice way as a man to say, I need some cutty and I might get bored with the same chick. That's what he was saying in a nice way. Go away, Felipe. You want passion, not with that mustache, sir. It's the apps that make men cheat easier, in my opinion. I think a lot of people use apps as a cop out because men been cheating since hell.
Before
My
time.
grandmother was
Mhm.
cheated on, and she said she always talks about I was cheated on in 1952. I was like, oh Lord, people been cheating. I think,
Yeah, it's a dumb thing to do with men, and the thing about it is the top behavior. As much as people don't want to admit that, it is a very big top behavior.
yeah, to an extent. It also, like, not to get nerdy, it also has to do with how and what parts of the brain men develop in.
Hmm.
And the part of the brain that relates to impulse control is one of the parts of the brain that for men develops extremely later in
Yeah,
life. When I say later in life, like past 30. So I
past
think that
30,
that
40s.
is why you see a lot of men settling down in their like 30s and 40s compared to men like my husband who are like, this is the chick I want. He did some wild stuff with drinking and things like that, but he's always been like, I want Mrs. Best, and that's that. But a lot of men, it just has to do with their brains. But the apps do give them
I
more
think easier
access.
access, yeah, easier access to do it, and I feel like, you know, they just have to make a
Yeah,
conscious effort just to choose you. I think that that's what most women need to understand is that they have to make that conscious effort to always choose you. And it's the same thing for you. You have to constantly choose. It's realistically getting up every morning and choosing that person every
that's what
single day.
Felipe's daddy tried to tell him.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
really
know if
is
it
that.
got through,
No,
but
it
he
didn't.
tried to tell him.
No, it did.
Tori had a panic attack, in my opinion.
But
To
why?
have a panic attack after having sex. Now, like when I was first intimate with my husband, not to give TMI, it was 60 days after I had been SA'd. And my essay was embarrassing for me because I said I don't want to be in the news, decline talking to Channel 2 and all of this, and people still reported on it in the news. Uh, so it was difficult for me, but even then I didn't have a panic attack. So I think there's something deeper with Tori, but it's hard
Yes.
because she only shares what she shares. But I can see why this couple will not make it.
Me
That's
too.
all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
What's poppin' Q on JTV? Good
Hi,
morning.
everyone.
I thought you were in another live. I could have swore Alicia said you be in a live. Did you have a live this morning, Kiwan, or a video? Either way, we happy to see you, Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all tap into Q1JTV. She also covers a lot of great shows. Please tap into her. I'm very excited for when Nemesis comes back. I'm going to be asking Q1JTV if she'll join me. Black, not Black. Oh, I was about to say Black is Beautiful and is, but Beauty and Black is going to be coming back soon. Kiwan, I look forward to covering that show with you. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you, my darling. Let me know if you want to do put a ring on it with us tomorrow, because I watched some of it and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a review where I talk shit. So if you want to come on with me and James Kiwan, let me know. I'll DM you and ask after this, but let me know. I'll be doing that tomorrow though. I think Alicia is joining us as well. Life with Alicia TV, aka founder and CEO of Black Girls Den podcast. I just think it's the cutest name. She did hit me up, so I'm excited to have her join me and James go over, put a ring on it. I just love me some Alicia. I just do.
I love her too. She's so
all the
awesome.
girls on YouTube, I'm like, why they got to live far away from me? Lord, not sir, why you signed up for this other than exposure. Listen, a lot of these
I
people
feel like a lot of these people, yeah. Him, Nick, question mark.
Look, AB said we need more lives, friend. Kiwan did a great job on her Heart and Hustle
She did.
Houston live. She did. AB says OMG Cheat Hab was a mess. I only watched like 5 minutes of it and then I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I fell asleep. It's something when Mr. Best is next to me and he snores, the way I knock out, the snore is infectious.
Say ASMR for you.
It must be, because every time he sleep, like I'd be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna watch this so he can't complain about this show." And then I end up sleep, waking up with my Xbox talking about your console will power down. Like, oh, oops, Lord. But I am excited for Put a Ring on It Cheat Hab, you guys. I felt like it would be something fun to cover, and since I'm not getting back Never Ever Met, that's the only own show that I can tolerate, because I'm definitely not covering Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm not covering Bill Collective. I totally love Alicia. Alicia's sweet. She's very encouraging too. She had encouraged me to use like what I know in terms of school. She's like, "Oh, you're smart." It encouraged me to like incorporate more of that in my reviews. But I always be scared to incorporate my education into my reviews because I don't want to scare people off. But I love that she uplifts my brain. So shout out to Alicia. We love you over here. If not tomorrow, I will join next week so I can catch up. Of course, Kiwan. Of course, not a worry in the world. Kiwan is busy. Okay? Take a number. She's busy. Now, we are going to get into, you said we love the panels. You all bounce off of each other. It's good to know.
Yes.
Y'all know if the subscribers love it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way. Even if my panel is just me and James, I'm going to find a way. But we're gonna move on from these people and come back at the therapy, because that's really what I'm trying to do, is get through these couples so I can get to the therapy. Because as James says, that's where the meat and potatoes of this episode was, and the
Yes.
cheese. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Step 2.
right, because it was a lot.
It was a
It was
lot.
a lot. Oh, Kiwa said work had me pissed the fuck off this week. I was acting real raggedy. Is you raggedy, or is it the job?
Is it the job? Because you know, you're not anybody that means anyone harm, any situation, any circumstance. So they had to have done something crazy.
Listen, Kiwan is a Sagittarius. Sagittariuses are similar to Geminis in that don't start none, won't be done. So if she is annoyed, somebody else did it. Somebody else did it. I'm trying to tell y'all, somebody else did it. Ay. Okay, see, I think I need to update my prescription. They keep saying, make an eye appointment, and I don't go. Shanny said, F that twin. Let everybody know in this chat, YouTube, how fucking smart you are. If they don't like it, too damn bad. Y'all remember the movie Holes from like 2003, 4?
Oh
It
my
was a book.
gosh.
Y'all remember the old man saying to the little girl, that's too damn bad. That's Shanny. That is Shanny.
I'm learning to say that now. So yes, y'all have to, yes, sometimes you have to say that. Sometimes you just do.
Not let me get my shoes on. Wait till we get to Love After Lockup, because somebody took their shoes off and I wanted to come through the TV. Okay. Not a so raggedy job. That's how I feel about my job. But I think some of them have discovered my YouTube channel, because I have been getting more noticed around the Bay Area, and I can't say it's raggedy. Well, I guess I can if I don't say where I work. It's raggedy, rugged. I'm so sick of work. And they changed my managers without telling me. And my new manager is like, he doesn't really manage. He's just like, oh, hey, Amina, we'll have your one-on-one. But, you know, if you're driving or working, you know, don't worry about it. You're supposed to help me. Like,
You're
we're
supposed to help.
have
And if you
IBTs and
need
case conferences. Like,
and if you need a one-on-one, you need to open up your calendar and schedule and then CC me or
he
send it
did
to me.
that at the end of the day, because he was hitting me up. And I work in the field, you guys. I do social work and case management. So I have to do home visits, check out people's stuff. My laptop has cellular data in it. And yesterday, everything stopped working. My phone, my work phone, my laptop. So I'm just in the field in front of some poor guy's house. Like, I feel for you, bruh. I can't document this, but I feel for you. And my supervisor, the new one, oh, they said you've been experienced. You got this. Let me know when it's resolved. I told you so you could help me. But yeah, work been raggedy, y'all. Management is raggedy. We're going to blame it on Trump. The workload management had me all the way effed up. It be the workload. I feel like they have unrealistic expectations a lot of places. Like, doesn't matter the field of work. Everyone has unrealistic expectations for what they pay. F that twin. Let everybody in this chat YouTube. Oh, I went over that. She said, how smart you are, and if they don't like it, too dang bad. I love Shanny. I love when Shanny sends me voice notes. I just love the way she talks. I do. Hey, Shanny. I'm going to send you a voice note, twin, on how the New York accent sounds when we say raggedy ass. I love it. I love it. Shanny sent me something. She said, and when she took a sip of the water, I was like, ooh, say it again, Shanny, say it again. I love it. I love an East Coast accent, okay? I love an East Coast accent. No apologies. No fucks given. I love y'all. I sent that message twice because I was cursing a lot in the first one, and you know how to be. It's okay. I think I just have like racial slurs and stuff set for like the things my channel blocks out. So as long as no one comes in here saying anything crazy racist, like your comment will get through. I curse too much to block out y'all cursing. It's quiet as skip. Belle Jolie and I'm in the closet Mecca. Now, Mecca says that Belle Jolie has been less affectionate after he explained that he believed that he is less attracted to her than she is to him. Well, gee willikers, who would have thought a woman wouldn't like hearing that she is more attracted to her man than he is to her? Who would have thought? Who want to hear that in any relationship. I don't give a flying fuck if you're trans, gay, lesbianism, whatever it is. Okay? Who wants to hear that?
Well, one, it's kind of like an unspoken fear that you end up with somebody that is not as attracted to you as you are to them. That is an unspoken fear. Like it just really is because, and then for you to verbally say it out your mouth validates any type of like question that she would have is he physically attracted? Because to me, that's saying you're not attracted to me. Sorry.
Pretty much.
That
And you
says
working
you're not
toward
attracted to
it.
me. Yeah, for you to say that I'm more attracted to you than you are to me, that says you're not attracted to me.
And can no man with fully manicured fingernails with the gel manicure, can't no man tell me he's less. I would have walked out the door
And
that day.
rhinestones on your teeth. Sir, take that shit out.
Thank you.
Please do
Thank
us all a favor and take that shit out. Because that, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought your teeth was black from a disease on your teeth. Take that shit out. Please and thank you.
Child, I'm annoyed, but Mecca claimed he got love for Belle Jolie. He claims that her ass is dope and that he gets aroused. Sir, men that like ass and get aroused, okay, I done lost like 70 something pounds. My booty is gone. I'm now part of the little booty gang. Mr. Best will still smack it. If you arouse, smack it and be affectionate. Why are you talking about it? Smack that ass. Never thought I'd have to tell a man that. But smack it. Why are you doing all of this? Like Mecca is just extra. Belle Jolie points out that they haven't slept together, right? And she mentions that it's partly because of the attractive comment. Because who wants to have sex with somebody who says that they're not truly attracted to you? How can you get off when you're worried about if this person even likes how you look? You know? But at the group dinner, Mecca was very fake and performative. He sat up there and explained what happened. And I kind of appreciated what Adam said. He was like, so you friend zoned her. Like, call a spade a spade. Like, because that's what happens when you friend zone somebody.
Yep.
Like, if you make a comment like that. So I was happy he said that. And Mecca was sitting there like a little kid, stubborn, upset that he was having to hear stuff about himself. And, you know, later on, they do see the experts. They are given homework. And they do end up, you know, discussing kids. They did become intimate and all of these things. They do go to work together. She went to work with him on the porta potties. Now, shout out to Mecca's family, because the grandmother mentioned that they are the only Black-owned portable toilet company in the Pacific Northwest. That is a win. It's not like on the West Coast, I will say this, it is not like it is when you go to the East Coast as it relates to Black-owned businesses. There are not as many over here. There's also a mass exodus of Black people that have left the Seattle, Portland, Bay Area, Los Angeles, and San Diego. Y'all got to understand, California, we are the third largest economy in the world, just our state. But unfortunately, there are not as many Black-owned businesses here. California is great and liberal, but you more so experience racism out here on the systemic level as it relates to businesses and credit and ownership of stuff. They do. I mean, it's hard everywhere, but it's especially hard here for Black people. So shout out to his family. That's a big deal.
I loved every moment of hearing that grandmother speak, and the fact that that's been in their family for a very long time. And as me and Mrs. Best told y'all episode 1, what that kind of business can bring in and the type of supplements that they can bring in, not just by government contract, but everything else. And now that I know that it's a family-owned business, there is now hazmat. We got to add to that too. So yes, very smart business. Totally proud of this family. If I don't say nothing else, yes, totally proud.
I love that. I definitely love that. It just showed that there's Black excellence everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I love that. However, Belle Jolie came like bring your spouse to work day. I've done that. My husband done come with me to work before and vice versa. I will say this. he works in a field that is gross. He should have prepared her for her clothing before they went there, or at the
Yes.
very minimum, purchased her like a little hazmat suit or something that she could have worn. But I was happy to see him be willing to give her his jacket. But, sir, maybe that's why some of the women, because he had spoken the earlier season or earlier episodes in the season about how women will break up with him because of his field of work. Now I see why. You took off that jacket and was just working like it wasn't no problem. Interesting. But I didn't like how he always has to like tear Belle Jolie down a little bit before he lifts her up. Like he commented on her outfit, roasted her looking like an equestrian, just for her to get in there and do what he wanted other women to do. She says, I'm turned on by the fact you do work like this. Mecca, I don't think women are turned off by your job, because I know a lot of women who, just because he got that green highlighted vest on, would want to date him. So I think that maybe he's having problems with women, probably because he gives gay. Sorry, not sorry. He just does. And it looks like he also struggles with affection, but we are going to come back to them a little later. How did you feel about them? Did you want to add anything before I moved on?
No, because I agree with everything you say. He does give gay, and it gives the gay that, you know, because you have a toxic masculinity father, you can't be who you really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's
His
exactly what
father
that's
is
doing.
such a problem.
Yes.
And I hope that through the season, since we're adding in group therapy, can we add in family therapy?
Family therapy,
Yeah.
because that is the big problem of why he can't be who he wants to be and why he feels he needs to tear this lady down, because the father did it at the wedding. So It's kind of like you're not too far from your father as far as the apple don't fall far from the tree. You are exactly him. It's just somewhere the mold skipped you as far as toxic masculinity as opposed to approaching women. I don't think that's what you really want to do, but you have to because he's still living.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably true. I love Shani accent and AB. I do as well. I do as well. You're doing just great. Just disguise the curse words. Shani said, "What up?" AB's accent is top tier. I do love it. I do love it. It is top tier, especially with ABB roasting them 90-day couples. Oh, Lord. My girl Belle Jolie went into those porta potties. I mean, come on. Listen, I would have stood outside and admired my man, but there's not enough money on the planet.
Nope, can't do
And
it.
you're not even attracted to me the way I'm attracted to you. You can clean up that shit on your own, quite literally. Right. Mecca's teeth distract me every time. Oh, Jesus. Have you seen the men? Now they are getting BBL so that wagon could be. Men have been getting BBLs and the fake abs.
So it's so crazy.
I'm not kissing you with rhinestones on your teeth, scraping up my tongue and my pretty big lips.
I don't know who started that. I don't know who started that trend, but you need your ass whooped. Whoever started that, you need your ass whooped because that shit is not cute.
There was a girl on Pop the Balloon who had a grill and like diamonds in her mouth and was like, "I'm from the Bay Area. That's just what we do." No, it is not.
No, it is not. That was never a Bay Area thing. That's what you do.
Right.
That was never a thing.
Shout out to Becca's grandmother for being smart. She wasn't too smart with how she raised his daddy.
Okay, because I need to meet her husband or his father or whichever one it is.
If she got one.
Yeah.
Lord. Make sure you smack the ass in the right spot so that this way it jiggles after you hit it. You don't want to slap it and it just sits right there. That defeats the purpose. Make it jiggle. Shani. Oh my God. I love Shani. Right. Don't make fun of Belle Jolie's outfit. She's so darling to me. She's cute. My husband don't like her teeth for some reason, but I think she's just the cutest girl.
My partner says she looked like Journey Smollett, and I can't unsee it now.
She does. She does. He's right.
I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it.
Just like her when she was like younger, but then also kind of looks like her in that. What was that movie? It was that movie that she did where she like ended up catching AIDS.
Oh, the Tyler Perry movie. I know what you're talking about. Where she was a therapist. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
movie. Yes.
yeah. Like especially when she pulls her hair back, she looks like Journey. Shout out to Journey Smollett.
One of my favorite people ever. One of my favorite actresses ever. I love her.
She's getting a divorce, and her ex-husband was trying to take like her childhood acting money. I'm like,
yeah, we don't like him.
She's been
Yeah.
acting since she was a little girl. Y'all remember Eve's Bayou?
I just watched it last week. Yes.
Yeah,
That's one of my
like
favorite
Journey.
movies.
She's been acting forever. Shout out to
Mhm.
Journey Smollett. Your brother a problem, but shout out to you, girl. Um, we're gonna get into Courtney and Nick, the headache that is a headache. They get on my nerves, y'all. 4 black girls. Thank you, Shani. Um, I think that's the name. She's done so many Tyler Perry movies too, so that's the hard part. But Courtney and Nick are discussing sex. Courtney explains that she has struggled with sex in relationships, and that's all she ever says. He's trying to ask about past relationships. She doesn't go too deep. He asked if she had long-term relationships, and she says she has trauma from being cheated on. She says that she let the cheating happen. She needs therapy and shouldn't be on this show. Like, she should not be on this show. You said you
Agreed.
let the cheating happen. I want everyone to understand you cannot let cheating happen. You can accept it if you know about it, but you don't just let it happen. That's not your fault that someone else doesn't have the ability to be faithful. What's poppin', Rhonda? Welcome in. Tap into Rhonda's page as well. Hey, girl, hey. It's morning for me, so I'll say good morning. I don't know where you are, but if it's afternoon, good afternoon. But yes, please tap into Rhonda's channel. Here we go with Mighty Mouse. She works my nerves and has a lot of problems. Why you call her Mighty Mouse? Eve's Bayou, I love that movie. I think that might have been the first time we don't hear Samuel Jackson call somebody a mother. I just like when the grandmother looked at Megan's Good character and said, "Did not, you ain't too big to beat." I said, "That's right. Ain't never too big to whoop on."
Right.
But Courtney is irritating, y'all. She said, "I'm at work sneaking in live." That be me. When I'm at work, I be watching y'all videos. You, Kiwan, Shayna, and I be
Same.
in JB's Baddies videos. I get entertainment out of them, but that's all we do. Because who wants to do work? Why they got you there on a Saturday? Free Rhonda, y'all. Free Rhonda. Because she probably could. She could probably throw Nick. Damn. Not she could throw him. Now, AB, please. Now, Courtney's making all these problems, not explaining much about her past. She just seems like a lot and is not ready for a romantic relationship. It's either she's not ready for a relationship or she does not like Nick. But they go to dinner, and Nick mentions that he wants more affection from Courtney. And Courtney says, once again, that Adam is the hottest guy in the house. I don't understand why she keeps saying this. Like, let us know that you're shallow and you only want to date who looks a certain
No,
way.
it just no. When she said that, it made me think about the. So when you said you let him cheat, is it because you weren't attracted to him and you felt he needed to get with someone to feel better? Because to me, it feels like when she said let, I actually thought the opposite. You can't let somebody cheat if you initiate it.
If you initiate cheating,
Yeah, if you initiated it. Yeah, if you
how is
initiated,
that letting someone else cheat if you're the one
because
initiating?
here's
That's you cheating.
no, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying initiated and giving him the pass to do so. That is letting somebody cheat. That's
Yeah,
why
if
I
you give
said,
them the pass, okay. I was like, initiating what? But that
yeah,
makes
you,
sense. But
yeah, you get the pass because yeah, because
even
to me,
so,
her mind is a cheating mind.
I don't know. That's a lot for what just seeing someone on TV to assume, but I do agree if she gave someone a pass, that is letting someone cheat, but that is stupid. But I get the feeling with how upset she is. I don't think that originally she was cheated on by just accepting it. I feel like someone probably did her dirty because something's wrong with this lady.
I agree.
Someone had to have done her dirty, y'all. But she just is not ready. She keeps saying Adam's hot. And at the table, she admits that she wanted to escape his cuddling. And it was the way, like nothing, some people do struggle with affection. That's something I struggle with just from personal trauma. But I'm not gonna like be hoping for an escape just because someone's cuddling me. Like if they do it long enough, like maybe you'll become comfortable. But I feel like she just doesn't trust this man primarily because of the TV and how many shows he's done, if I'm being honest. She keeps saying she's a slow burn. And if she says that she's a slow burn one more time, I'm going to throw my laptop into my own head. Because why? You are not a slow burn. A slow burn would be like flirting, talking to someone, but never taking it there, but still doing like that, you know, that long wait, like the chase. That's a slow burn.
Yes.
This is verbal abuse and a little bit of emotional abuse, if I'm being entirely honest. Courtney and Caitlyn are the worst females on this show, in my opinion, because they both use the I'm independent, I got a slow burn. When the reality of the situation is you guys are probably picky as hell with the type of men you want, which is crazy, which is absolutely insane, especially for Courtney because she's 28 and looking like she's 48. Girl, come on. I don't understand it. Like, I don't like how she emasculates and insults what's his face, Nick, at any opportunity that she can. I just don't understand that. It seems unnecessary. Now, Nick explains he understands that she is a slow burn, and Courtney mentions once again, and then, you know, he's done shows, but then she quickly went away from it. And I keep saying this review after review because she does this. And that's what makes me think what's bothering her is how many reality TV shows she's done, that he has done. Because they're talking about affection, and this lady just immediately out of nowhere, that'd be like if me and James were talking about, okay, well, we could do YouTube Live for Bell Collective tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then he just out of nowhere, just brings up, yeah, well, are you sure you want to do it? Because you don't like Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, huh? We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this. Huh? I use that because I really don't like Love and Marriage Huntsville, but we discussed it. He knows. But
yes, I know, I'm real.
But, you know, it's like, if you're talking about one thing, like if James says to me, I feel sad today, and then my response is, there's nothing to be sad about. I want to know why you did this last week at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. It's like, huh? What are we doing? Like, Courtney, you're not making any sense.
No.
If the TV shows that he has done bother you, then stop wasting the fucking time of people watching the show, the therapist, and your own time, and speak on it. You have every right to challenge and question the experts on why you were matched with this person.
Yes.
And she won't do that. And every time she complains to him about affection and stuff, it comes back to these TV shows. She thought he was attractive when they first met at the wedding. Everything was good until she learned he did 5 different reality shows. And then things got a little ungood. And then I also think she may be questioning his sexuality because he's not the most affectionate and he gives these government perfect political answers to everything. I would think he's gay. I would. Like, are you even attracted to women for real? Because you've been on all these reality shows. One of them is RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm side-eyeing any straight man that's going on RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't care what nobody says, okay? We have to respect LGBTQ, and they also have to respect those who are heterosexual, and most heterosexual men are not going on RuPaul's Drag Race, okay? Most heterosexual men will not stay friends and become close with a gay man that catfished them. Most people, gay or straight, wouldn't stay friends with somebody who catfished them. So there are several red flags that Courtney has experienced that make her feelings and lack of affection valid, but she talks in fucking circles and gets away from that. And then she looks like an asshole.
Yes, I was just about to say it's because it would make her look like the bad guy if she did question it. But at the end of the day, I would rather be labeled the bad guy than to stay in something that I know is not serving me. See, that's the problem with her, is you're nitpicking, hoping he's going to crack. Mm-hmm. And that's not fair because that does not detriment him, it detriments you. That's and I think that you have to ease up because he's going to fall on his own sword. Trust me, that's going to get exposed one way or another. Now, if you don't want it to get exposed on your dime, ma'am, that is fine. You need to remove yourself from the situation then. But to breadcrumb, drop little nitpicks at his being is not going to help the situation. It's going to further dive him into this, shell that he's already in.
It's not fair.
And it's not fair.
Like, because it's hard for him. Something you said, like the dropping and the breadcrumbing, that is what she's doing. Mm-hmm. Because there are moments where she tries really hard. And then there's moments where she'll just like switch up. And he's probably getting the whiplash, as Michelle had spoke about. But they do go. there are a couple things that are random. Now, on the ride home from everything, it gets to be kind of a mess. I did feel like Sean, I got something good for you. Also, shout out to Sean. You're still a red flag, and I still don't think you should be dating women, but he lost a lot of weight since the show. Shout out to him.
Nice.
Shout out to him. Still not the cutest, but hey, he's in shape, baby. In shape with a butterface. Now, Sean gave a good example at the group dinner, and this is why it's good for other couples to be around other couples. No shade. Me and my husband don't take no couple seriously till they're married. I don't care who you are, how close I am to you. If you're not married, I don't take it seriously, especially being in my 30s now. We are looking for other married couples that we can intermingle with. And scenes like this group dinner showed why that's important sometimes, or shows like Married to Medicine where they do couple stuff. Like sometimes it is good to see and hear the perspective of others. And Sean gave the analogy of like exercising, because Courtney is clearly so into exercise. He was like, well, I challenge you to treat your marriage like exercise. It doesn't feel good to go to the gym and run those miles, but it gets easier with time and you still do it because it's something that you love. You work at it. I thought that was incredible. And I saw the discernment and the wisdom that you need to be a professor, Dr. Sean. So you did that, sir. Okay, you did that. However, apply some of that shit to yourself, Sean. I'm going to come back to you, Sean. But I want him to apply what he can give to the other couples to himself. Now, Courtney keeps saying she doesn't know if Nick is comfortable the way that he is. And on their ride home, they discussed the confidence comment because Nick took offense to this. He's like, everyone would say I'm confident. People would say you're confident probably because you went to MIT and you've come on television, and you have to have a certain level of confidence to attend an Ivy League school like MIT. One, and you need a great deal of confidence. I don't care how stupid all the people we see on TV are. You need so much confidence to be on TV, scripted or reality. But in terms of dating and who you are as a person and as a man, he does lack confidence. Because if he didn't lack confidence, he would have spoke up and called out this lady's bullshit, regardless of her being upset. Best example is Sean and Nikki. They fighting like cats, dogs, and raccoons.
They sound like that auntie and uncle that been together 35 years but ain't getting no divorce because it's too expensive for them.
But like Sean, he be loud and wrong, but he's confident in what he is saying.
Yes.
Nick lacks that confidence, and I feel like Courtney's not explaining stuff correctly, so it comes off as like she's just kind of critiquing him in a negative way, if that makes sense. And she's just not wording stuff correctly. But I was very surprised to learn, because later on we see apparently she didn't know who Keanu Reeves is.
I call bull on that. I'm sorry.
Are you doing this for a moment? Because I'm like, you're 28 years old. Okay, I'm 34. The Matrix came out, what was that, 01?
But there was other variations of it later. So that's why I'm just like, I don't understand how you don't.
And separate from that, what is that?
He's had millions of movies.
John Wick. Hello.
Yes.
Super popular in today's time. Separate from that, Devil's Advocate. Keanu Reeves is one of my favorite actors, can y'all tell? But he has done so many films today and yesterday. So I found out a little odd that she didn't know who he was. However, I'm not going to focus too much on it. They did have a somewhat positive conversation, and she explains that she feels like she has never experienced real love, which is true. Real love is not supposed to be that damn painful. It's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be that painful. And it seems like she struggles with abandonment a little bit, like the fear that people who love her are going to walk away or get tired of her. I felt like this was a great opportunity for Nick to safely give Courtney affection, but he didn't in the way that he should have. Anywho, it's moving along because there's a lot that happened with them. They go to visit her family in Oregon, and she learns that he is not interested in Oregon at all. Now, if you go on a dating show in Seattle, Washington, why are you getting upset that someone doesn't want to live in Oregon? You're living in Seattle right now. So I feel like that's unrealistic for you to expect, oh, when I have kids, I want to move to Oregon. Bitch, then move to Oregon now. Because to move from Seattle to Oregon is crazy.
It was another nitpick.
Yeah,
That
like
was another nitpick that she did. So that way it inches her further from her first mind. And if you just won't, that's why I say you have to be honest. I get she does not want to look like the bad guy, y'all. I totally get a lot of people don't. But at the same time, you only get one life to live, and this life is yours. And if
that's
you
right.
are married to somebody, you owe them honesty, no matter how hard or uncomfortable it may be. If you feel something, you need to say something. But by you just breadcrumbing and nitpicking and starting unnecessary emplacements in your marriage by saying, "Oh, I don't like Portland either, but my family's there. I want to move there." Like, but how do you feel about that? Yeah, I don't like it. But it's like, okay, what exactly are you trying to say? Because you just said you didn't like it your damn self. So why are you getting mad at this when he says he doesn't like it? Or why would you feel some type of
She
way?
wants control. And
Yes.
this is the other example of people letting their family ruin their opportunities for love. Your kids can be close to your family. Oregon and Seattle is not that far away from each other, okay? The Pacific Northwest, people in California is constantly going to Washington and Oregon and all of that all the time. It is actually a thing. So for her to make it seem like she has to be near family, I understand wanting to be near family to have kids, but I thought that was unrealistic. You skip his steps, you can't even give this man a hug and a kiss.
Right.
Okay. You send up here fighting to get away from a cuddle. And now you're talking about Oregon. But her family was nice. They went to see the family. The family was chill and they were nice. They made some dry ass chicken kebabs that were only seasoned on the outside. And they seemed like nice people. Saray your meat, y'all, so that that flavor can get inside of it. That's all. That's it, and that's all. Okay. Any meat I make is gonna fall off the bone. That's all. That irritated me. But we know the melanin redacted don't. When you think of great food, no one ever says melanin redacted food. Okay, it's just
Stop.
that
Stop.
it's
Stop.
true.
Stop.
It's
Stop.
true. If somebody, let me tell, it's the truth. It's the truth. Persian food, African food, Mexican food, Salvadorian food, pupusas, okay, flavored. You go to a melanin redacted restaurant, the most flavor you'll get on a burger is if they put some chili on that bitch. Like, I said what I said. Oh well. They put raisins in potato salad. Justice for potato salad. Okay. Y'all can't unchange my mind. Them kebabs was big as hell. And it looked like the with a light-skinned amount of seasoning, and it just stressed me out. But he was nice and played cool. He was nice and played cool. And they ate the food. He got along really well with her family, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like she is attracted to him. She tries to talk to her sister, tells her sister that he hates Oregon and he lacks depth. And her sister is like, huh? Like, her sister looked confused. And then she pulled the, well, you know, I'm a slow burn. And her sister looked at her like,
That
like
told me all I need.
you
Her
gonna be
family,
alone forever.
her family told me all I needed to know.
She's not the problem, or her family is not the problem. Courtney is the problem.
Courtney is definitely
Because her
the problem.
sister had a man, the brother-in-law was there. Her mom is married and seemed kind. So I think Courtney's the problem.
Courtney is the problem.
Yeah, she's definitely the
Courtney's a
problem.
problem for many different reasons. One, Courtney is not being real and saying what she needs to say. Also, Courtney is trying to nitpick and pry into this man to make a problem that probably isn't there, that's in her mind. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say this. On the scale of 100% of his issues that affect her, she is prying at 60% of them.
Yep.
Because 40% of them have nothing to do with her.
Yep. That's literally my last note for them. Court is nitpicking. She just don't like this man.
Yes.
And I think she thought her sister would like side with her,
Mm-hmm.
so that because the cameras are there.
The
But
thing about it is where she went wrong. He's actually likable. He really is. I think if he was in his truth, he would be so much more likable.
mm-hmm.
I
You
think
can
if
tell
like,
he's reserved and hiding who he really is, and no
right.
one wants to be with someone so like kosher and perfect. Sometimes what makes the best relationships, friendships, all of that is the lack of perfection that humans have. But we're gonna come back to them once we get to the therapy. AB said it was so rude for Courtney to say that Adam's the most attractive guy in the house in front of Nick.
Absolutely.
In real life, she would have been dumped for that shit. And then she
Right.
probably would have cried about being dumped and made herself a victim.
Yep.
This is Rhonda's page. Thank you, Kiwan. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Kiwan. Tap into Just Rhonda. I tend to put her in the, I know Rhonda's probably like, who is this black lady, Mrs. Best, just tagging me in her videos, but it's okay. She loves me now. But please check out her channel. Please tap into her channel. Courtney's window is closing fast at how fast she is aging. Damn.
I didn't say it, y'all did.
Her sister looked younger than her. So
She did, yeah.
Probably the attitude. 28, right. She didn't really look 28. When I saw that, I thought she lied to the people. I said, are we not checking IDs? Because there's no way. Nick is weird. He's a red flag in his own way. And that's why me and James, it sounds like we both agree, like, yes, there are red flags with this man, and he's clearly not being his authentic self. But call it out instead of nitpicking it so that we can respect.
We can respect, like, to me, once again, this is marriage. This is not y'all are rushing to the altar. Y'all have already gotten past this. If you see this is a roadblock to why you can't connect with this man, then you need to say what it is, because he's not going to know. The experts are not going to pick up on it because they matched you two with each other, not seeing this. So you need to say what it is. I get it. As I said, she's trying not to be the bad guy, y'all. She's really itching herself. But what she don't know, to people who actually understand what she's doing, you already look like that. So you might as well go full-fledged villain at this point.
I think they need to do Married at First Sight in a way where the people don't know that they're being recorded, if that's possible. I know it would be difficult, but I feel like just knowing you're on TV, nobody's going to behave in their
You're saying do the interviews before they actually put them on actual TV?
Not just, no, I meant what I said. I want them to do the process, but if they could somehow find a way to do this process with people not knowing they're going to be on TV and like get a later release or something signed, I feel like we would get to see more of what's what. Like nobody's going to be their authentic self in front of the camera that they know is going to showcase them to millions of people all over the world. Like streaming apps, to me, you're exposed to more people than you are just being on TV these days. But I feel like that's a recurring problem, especially with Courtney and Nick. Like they're both so concerned with how they look that they're in their way of getting to know each other and communicate.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
And they're just too concerned for the camera. And it's like the experts should have thought about that when matching him, because he's trained and skilled, whereas she is not with TV, and it's kind of an unfair advantage. But
yeah, agreed.
Sean said Sean saw his dad bod on the show and it forced him to lose some weight. I'm here for it. If that's what it takes, I'm here for it.
As long as it's healthy, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best point to make. If people are healthy, we want them to do that. But if all you saw on the show to work on yourself, Sean, was his dad bod, I am concerned there's a lot more you have to work on. Just saying, especially if you're going to date women. I am working and trying to pay attention, y'all. You just said Nikki, and the only thing that popped in my head is Prince. I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a sex fan. One of his first movies called River's Edge, and that was a good movie. Shanny, you need to be doing movie reviews.
I'm trying to tell you, Shanny, get on YouTube. We've been trying to get her to do YouTube forever. Come on, Shanny, come on up here.
Q said, why y'all didn't tell me about this episode of Love After Lockup? It's the finale, girl. Life After Lockup will be here in October. I do cover that as well. I'm excited for it. Oh, you want to join that too?
Especially now that I know I saw the cast. Absolutely.
He's like, I understand. Well, we have to wait till October for that. But I'm excited. I think we'll have great fall television this year. I think of that song as well when I see Shanny. She doesn't need kids. Preach. Mr. Also, Beth says thy Italians make pretty good food, though. He said, don't cover all of them. That's actually true. Italian people, they can cook, okay? I will eat Italian. He knows. That's probably why he's saying that. He's like, you talking all that shit. You love Italian food. I love Italian food. It's my favorite. Don't be talking about those people's dry ass chicken. It looked dry.
It, for it to be a gas grill, I have to agree with my bestie. I don't know how that's possible with a gas grill. I could see if it was a wood or charcoal grill. Yes, you could dry the fuck out of some chicken with that and burn the fuck out of it. but with a grill, it's a little bit harder.
I don't like gas grills. Nothing ever tastes right. Give me charcoal or wood, or I don't want it.
Yeah.
Brother Joe, I love me some Italian food. Someone send my ass back to Italy, please. Shanny did travel to Italy. I want to go. That's actually Brother Joe's. His mom's dream is to go to Italy one day. I am
Mine too.
determined to get her there. I am determined because I feel like I'd have more fun with her in Italy than him. No shade to my husband. His mom is a time. Y'all really don't understand. Kathy is a time. This is the link to Also Best channel. I was like, wait, is she doing my channel? Yes, please subscribe to Also Best as well. He's not as consistent, you feel me, as I am, but he does post. That's where all our travel vlogs and stuff go, and he does do some music from time to time. Will Brother Joe be throwing out those funky fresh beats on his channel? You hear them, JoJo? Where the beats? Lord, let me see. Just Rhonda's giving love. Brother Joe says, I can fuck with some bulgogi right now, Shanny. Oh, Lord. Lord. He's active today. Usually he don't respond. Lord. Brother Joe, when you get that, please fix me a plate out here. I'd appreciate it, or Uber Eats works too. Not Uber Eats. Oh, Lord. Okay, we going to Kentucky. AB said that she cooked Italian food well. I'm coming to Kentucky. Aren't you Italian, though? I feel like AB is Italian. Didn't you say your grandparents were immigrants? I need to go to AB's house, okay, and get the real deal. I got you, Shanny. It'll be shipped in a day. God. I'm in for life after lockup. I assume so, Kiwan. It's very hard to get off of the bus halfway there, okay? I already assumed that. They have a hack to get tickets cheaper for flying overseas. Someone told me about a hack for that. I'm scared to say it on the internet because I'm like, too many people will know, but I'll have to start using these hacks. But let's get into Nikki and Sean. Nikki arrived without Sean to the group dinner. And then Sean arrived later, but he didn't greet her. And we know that they arrived separately because she got the hell out that house. She had to get away from him. And I don't blame her. I don't. Now, at the dinner, Nikki asked how she and Sean are going to discuss their relationship because everyone's going around giving updates and she don't want to embarrass him, which I'm like, okay, that is nice. That's nice. But this man needs to be embarrassed. My stupid glasses keep fogging up. It's driving me crazy. I don't understand why. Probably because of my coffee. But they're having all of these problems, trying to figure out how they're going to discuss each other. And Sean, you did not deserve the grace that she was trying to give you. Okay? She's like, how am I going to discuss this without making you look bad? Because he has been the problem. And Nikki explains when asked that she got things in her head. He's been difficult. She goes over their problems. And Mecca stepped in and said, what is the accountability for her part in their relationship? Were you not fucking listening to what she said, Mecca? You just one of the men who's going to side with the boys because he's a boy?
Absolutely.
Sir, your opinion doesn't fucking matter because you're not even attracted to your woman as you so stated. Be quiet, Mecca. Be quiet. Go call your daddy for advice. Don't understand it. But, he asked if Nikki gives Sean grace, and she explained that she doesn't get the opportunity to give him grace because they're never able to solve a conflict, because when it gets to a point of him realizing that he has contributed to the conflict, that Sean runs away or avoids it. Devin made the best point of everybody up there. And I said, Devin, you need to go on the mental health or, working with other people, social services. Not everyone's meant for it, but he's somebody who is, because it's not really about science. It's about assessing and getting to know people individually and independently, and then assessing and helping them in the way that works for them. A lot of people outside of mental health think they understand because they took a couple of courses. No, it is not that whatsoever. And it's not for everyone. You can't approach people just with science and what you think to be true from what you've learned. I like that Devin pointed out the fact that ego is a problem, not just for Sean, but for both of them. Nikki is used to being a leader and in control in her regular life, and she's been single a while, and they're older. Sean is a professor and used to being in control and has been alone for most of his life, from what he has explained. So it's one of those things where ego gets in the way because they both think that they're right and neither of them are willing to
budge,
nudge or bow down to the other.
Exactly.
So Devin, even the experts were like, yes, Devin, because that is the problem. Now, I do still think that Sean is more of a problem than Nikki. I think that the experts got it wrong with them. I think the experts heard she will look past the normal things that cause women to be single, such as, I need him to be taller than me. I've been married over 20 years to a man that is shorter than me. We're doing just fine. It's working out great. Okay. The shorter the man, the longer I'm gonna be quiet. But you can't just decline people for like shallow reasons and things of that nature. Now, Nikki matches fire with fire when it comes to Sean, but when she explains what happened out of the airport, everything that me and James thought happened was proven to have happened. So he made it seem like she ran off and he couldn't find her, but she made it clear, I'm going to take some space from you. Because I was like, how y'all end up on the same flight if she ran away? Why wouldn't you instantly go after her? You tried to paint her out to be the problem, but really she took space. I saw it as Sean being manipulative, and he will sit quiet as he did at this table so that they could pile on to Nikki and not him. He sat quiet because he realized if he spoke out, he would act the fucking fool and people would see that he's a bigger problem than he is. He is manipulative. He is manipulative. And the most educated people are the shadiest sometimes. Not everybody uses their brain for good, okay? Look at politicians. That's the best example I can give, okay? But it's just a mess. It's good that she slept somewhere else. And I'm going to say this. She was not happy with him talking about her at the table at all, negatively. And she had a right to be mad, because why would you allow people to pile on while making yourself? And then he sat there with a smug ass fucking smile. That's why your bitch ass couldn't even get no coochie for another 9 years. Okay. There's no riz, there's no game, there's no nothing. There's just a headache and a know-it-all with a good degree and a good paycheck. That's all. And I feel like Sean is one of those men who thinks that his intellect and what he makes is going to attract and keep women. Yes, some women are shallow, but not that shallow, Sean. Now, I don't know if you guys know, people have been posting on TikTok, exes of Sean. Sean has apparently a history of trying to get on reality TV shows with women that he is not really with. Some of these women have been coming out and speaking out specifically on TikTok. I haven't seen it so much on Instagram. And I don't trust him because of that. So I'm going to let you guys know my opinion on him is skewed because of that. Because Sean and Nick give I'm here for TV. And this person was alleging that Sean was essentially trying to lie to production and stuff and just wants to be on TV. People might say, why, if he's so smart? Shouldn't we ask the same thing of Phaedra Parks? You never know. You never know.
Right.
But Sean is just a mess. He doesn't shower. I don't think he smells good anymore. And I just don't know what to do with them. Now, Sean says when they go back to counseling, first, Nikki says that they bring out the worst in each other. And I agree. And they rate their marriage. And Nikki rates it a 2. He rates it a 7.5. Where did... Sir, she don't even want to sleep in the house with you.
How is it a 7.5? Can you please explain to the world, the viewing audience, how out of a top number being 10, not 100, how do we get to a 7.5 when you have been gaslighting, manipulating the story to make it go in your favor, gaslighting her to make it look like she's the one-eyed monster in the relationship, and then to top it off, you're trying to use her past as a way to demonize her in her present, and that's also not fair because you were not there.
Thank you.
So
Sean is an asshole.
Yes,
he's an asshole, and the problem and the reason y'all are probably like, you really don't like this man, the fact that he's a doctor and professor and like an intelligent person tells me that he understands what he's doing. He's choosing to ignore it. And that's the part that pisses me off, because he's the one probably with the most introspection that acts this way. Now, Sean says that he can relinquish power and is used to acting the way that he's acting because of his childhood. And Paul called him out. And I was happy he did, because Paul said what we've all been thinking. Sean, you are more fucking concerned about yourself and how you look than you are about this marriage.
Yep.
Now, they do make peace. And Paul pointed out some good things, like part of the relationship is like closeness, like caring. He did make some very good points. But I don't think that Sean and Mickey are going to make it. They need to just hang it up.
We know they're not going to make it. We know this marriage is doomed. We know everything. I just think for me, watching them, it's sad because I kind of feel like, one, if she really was going to get a fair tryout, not to say that any man that they were going to pick for her wasn't going to have an issue or two, because that is granted, they don't know each other. But the problem is I think this is so far left for both of them, really. But I'm going to speak up for Nikki, because right now her issues, I think, are reacting to being accosted versus, it being a simple reaction out of like a genuine sense of this marriage. So I just feel like for me, they got it wrong. And I just feel like they're using her for TV and ratings. I really do.
Nikki got done wrong. As I said on Instagram, I was very surprised. 1,500 people agreed with me. I know she's rich, but she's entitled to compensation for this shit. She really is.
Yep,
she
I
is.
agree.
I can't get at her for responding to. Y'all got her sleeping in the bed with the motherfucker who called, taking a towel, rubbed it on his armpits and then on his face and head with no soap, and then proceeded to get in the bed with white sheets with her. And most of their arguments is because he wants some sex. I wouldn't want to give a nigga sex who don't wash the lower quadrant of his body. Okay, hygiene matters to women just as much. If you funky because you at work, my husband does security, so sometimes he come home funky, he gets right in the shower, okay? Right into the shower. And if it's a gym day, he go to the gym and into the shower, okay? Because he's not going to make more laundry for me. But I can't understand why they move, the way they move. American Board says, your grandfather, I remember your grandfather came from Italy. You got the true, I'm coming to Kentucky, AB, and I want some pasta. My homegirl is a travel agent. Let me know. Can we make it a group trip in Rome? And trust me, right across the street from the Trevi Fountain is a smoke shop. You can buy flour or the edible. Oh, wow. We might have to make a group trip with Shani. I would totally be down for that. I love a group trip. My thing is, though, people be bullshitting with group trips now, so I just plan. Like, I'm going to Hawaii next year when I graduate college and for my birthday. I don't have time for people to play with me this year. If you're going to come. If you're not going to come, do not play with me. Do not waste my time. I just go. Now, if we serious, I do it. But you know how black people be. You know how black people be. Nikki, just run and don't come back.
Plain and simple. Just go ahead. Trust your first thought, because your first thought is telling you right. You need to leave this marriage. Your first thought is telling you right. Don't stop. Don't collect your $200 that go. Just leave the Monopoly game, because it's not going to get better.
Not just leave the Monopoly game.
Listen, no, just get out. Don't go bankrupt for nobody. Just leave the Monopoly game. It's okay to tap out.
Mr. Best said, absolutely, we could set that trip up in the future, Shani. I'm always telling him about you, Shani. I enjoy you heavily. I'm like, all the people I get along with is on the East Coast. But I can't live California. James will tell y'all I'm truly Bay Area bred.
I'm done. You trust me. I've tried to work on her. She is a lost cause. She is a Bay Arean for life.
Baydestrian. Shout out to the town.
I am not here to listen. As someone who comes from there as well, I understand. However, I had more motivation to leave because I don't feel like going through all that struggle.
Well, when you got out the hospital, out of high school, it was the 08 economic crash. So there were no jobs here or houses.
Nope.
You had no choice.
I had no choice but to go. And because I didn't want to work at Safeway or Burger King for the rest of my life. I just couldn't do it.
There are people still working. I have a friend
I know.
Whose cousin has worked in Safeway since like 93. And
but back then you could work at Safeway and pay your bills.
No, she recently retired and she kept getting raises.
Yeah.
There was no cap. So when she left, she was making like over $50 an hour. I said,
absolutely. What's her name? Mama who worked at Lucky's and went to high school with. I forgot her name. But her mom. Huh? No. Ashley Kringle. Yeah.
Oh, she is a stripper now. She is. And she does some other things too.
I didn't know you was gonna say that online.
She's public with it. She's not embarrassed by it.
I know, but not
Trust it.
everybody know who that is. That's
They can't find her. Her Instagram name's something different. If you want to be a stripper,
I'm saying her mama.
stripper
I used
out
to go.
loud.
Her mama worked at Lucky's, and I'll never forget. Like people could raise their kids off of that shit, though. Like you can't
We
do that
can't do
today.
that no more.
You can't do
Okay.
that no more. Like you can't work at the grocery store, be a cashier, and raise your whole family of 4 kids. You can't do it no more.
Shout out to my nana because she understands that. She was like, darling, it's so hard for your generation. I said, shout out my nana.
Absolutely.
Just Rhonda said they really don't like each other. Just call it. Yep. You the right. He is the wipe off dude, Shanny. Or not Shanny, Kiwan. He is the wipe off man. It's a nasty situation. Relinquish his power. What power he got? Okay, Shanny. In his head, he has a lot of power.
He said he's the second coming of Jesus. That's in his head. He can't do no wrong.
Yeah, bread, y'all.
He can't do no wrong. Like that's just what he is, and it's like, oof. You just ain't found you nobody to knock you off that high horse yet.
Nikki and Courtney, AB, I think have every right to question and put pushback on the experts for who they put them with. But they're not doing that and trying to trust it, and that's the part that's really frustrating for me, but it's got to be more frustrating for them. Which one's the couple that you were talking about last week where she felt like she couldn't get off? And I was like, he could use his fingers or tongue. I am not having a sex toy with you and your dirty, funky dick, Shanny.
I don't know who that is, but answer the question.
I can't remember who I said that about either. Lord, I'm going to have to go back and look at the review. But we're going to get into Cameron and Michelle real quick, y'all. They doing great. They have a conversation because Michelle makes more money than him. Not surprised. But she respects him for working hard and loving his passion. I love them. I love them. I'm sorry, I don't see what you saw in him. I know you said you saw gay in this man. I don't see it at all. Have not seen it. But I do see his lack of experience as it relates to like a strong or like super committed relationship. But I think Cameron and Michelle are okay. They're having the appropriate conversations. And I think part of it is a lot of women forget that sometimes you got to uplift your man the same way that you want to be uplifted and appreciated. And a lot of women are unrealistic. If you are a boss like Nikki or Michelle and you're making all of this money, you have to understand that most Americans, as Paul said, make $64K a year. Okay? Most Americans. So if you're making more than that, then that means there's a smaller percentage of people in general who are making the same amount as you. And then you have to take into account that not all of the men in the world are available. You know, so it's just a lot. I feel like Michelle is showing a good lesson. Instead of trying to say, I need a man with 6 figures, okay? Maybe look for a quality man that treats you right, but also demonstrates a work ethic and self-sufficiency, meaning he can take care of himself with his salary because he can probably do the same for you too. And sometimes that looks like someone who could make $200K a year, and sometimes that looks like someone who may make $75K a year. But I do feel like some women need to lay off and ease up of their financial obligations for men, especially if you make less than them. Okay, that don't make sense. But I did appreciate their conversation. I don't have much to say. Do you have anything to add for these guys?
I want, because y'all know I love Michelle. She's my favorite on here. I love her to death. I do. I think she's just super adorable, super cute. I like Cameron too. I do. But this is my issue with, this. I loved her approach as well, because I think a lot of women need to soften the blow when it comes to income. Because there was an expert that said that most women, when a man does not make 6 figures, they turn it down. But the expert posed a question to this one lady. Okay, so if you make 100,000, would it be a problem if he made 98,000? Because he's right there at the spectrum of your income if we're talking about Uncle Sam. So I just really would challenge women to think, on the larger scale, does that $2,000 really make a difference on a day-to-day? I guess in today's time it would because every dollar counts. But in the hindsight of it, I totally understood that. And I feel like Michelle listened to that same podcast and is really thinking about, okay, we don't have to live on the higher spectrum of our incomes. We can live below it and still live well and enjoy each other and not have the financial burden or stress. And I think that that's what people need to look at when they talk about, oh, I need somebody on my income level. But what part of your income bracket do you live off of where you can make that kind of assessment on somebody else?
Yeah, I agree with that. I also feel like if you're making so much more money than your partner, like, who cares? Like,
Right.
just accept what it is. Too many people are focused on income and things that you're really not supposed to discuss with your partner until you are married. I mean, yes, you should know what they do for a living, but you don't need to know the ins and outs of how much people make and all of that, in my opinion, unless you're living with them or have been with them for some time.
Right.
Like, but I do appreciate Michelle and Cameron for being on the show, as AB is saying, for the right reasons. I think they both took it seriously. I think they both struggle because they both kind of give like demure and a more timid approach to life as it relates to personality. So I feel like maybe they didn't struggle in relationships because of problems, but maybe they just hadn't found the right person and are not so boisterous where they're meeting people constantly. Sometimes the more extroverted you are makes it harder to find love too. Fun
True.
fact.
Yeah. True
Devin and Caitlin, beautiful people. Devin and Caitlin are, I guess, doing better than they were. They're doing better in episode 8 of the 7-8-9. But I only say that because they went on a little paddleboarding date that went well. It seems like they're okay when they're doing activities together. But the problem is Caitlin's always trying to run away from him. She has her friends meet him and things went fine. But they explained that Caitlin is extremely independent. Her friends gave that they're all single as well. I encourage everybody single. If all of your other friends are single also, go find some friends who are not single. It's not even about marriage. I think that's a red flag. I think that's a red flag. All y'all single? And the friends were shallow as fuck, which irritated me. What's with his hair? No, bitch, what's with your friend? She signed up for a show called Married at First Sight and is upset at the fact that she has to be around her husband. Why would you sign up to be in a relationship to go against the relationship? And then everything that Caitlin says makes no sense about her past relationships. Oh, I'm just very independent. Maybe that's why your past ones didn't work. Caitlin doesn't seem bad. I just think she's too into herself. She's very self-centered. We'll get to that more when the experts with the group therapy, but she said if her friends don't like her man, that it's going to make her pull back. Grow up, you stupid child. Grow up. Are you in high school? Are we in high school? Are we in the 10th grade? Do I need to put my cheer outfit on and say, go Monarchs? What are we doing? I don't understand. Like, I'm going to say this politely so I don't get canceled. When you get married, that person becomes the most important person outside of yourself.
Agreed.
When you are married with a child, your child becomes the next important person outside of yourself.
Agreed.
Your child, I'm okay if you put your child before your husband, if it makes sense. If it makes sense, which
Agreed.
only some will understand. I'm not here to go over all of that.
Right.
But I'm going to say this. Your husband should be the priority. I don't give a flying fuck when it comes to James, Erica, aka Kiwan J TV, Leona, okay? Shout out to Camilla, Megan. These are all people I consider like not just friends, but like my closest friends. If I had to choose between them and my husband, I'm choosing Mr. Best. I'm choosing Anthony Josiah Herbert II.
You better.
I promise you, none of them would be offended.
No.
So the fact that this girl said if her friends don't like Devin, she's going to pull back. You're not ready for marriage. You're not ready for a relationship. You need to grow up and stop being a little frat girl. And if you want to be independent, there's nothing wrong with being single and independent. But don't waste his time and our time on this show. That's all I have to say about Caitlin thus far. How did you feel about them?
I'm looking at my notes now. The one friend that was running her mouth, the problem in her friendship, she actually is married. She said her husband does his own thing because she likes it that way. She likes when her husband goes out and does whatever he wants. She doesn't want him all in her
So
face.
she
So
got a
that's
friend in a
normal.
toxic
So she
marriage.
got a friend. So that's the problem right there. The friend
Mm.
co-signing that very inappropriate behavior. So no, when you were saying her friends were single, I was looking at my notes and I said, oh no, 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 no. The one that was running her mouth, pit-pocketing and talking about this man like she did, that was the one that was married. And I believe the other old girl was married too or engaged. So
Here's
her
the thing.
friends,
I think she's comparing, since you bring that up, probably her relationship
yes,
with him to what her friends have going on.
yes,
And what your friends have may not work for you. It's still very fucking childish.
it is.
Why are you comparing? That'd be like if I compared Josiah to James's partner. Why are we doing this?
Like it's so silly. So that's the problem right there. Is she has friends that think like this and make it okay when in reality that is not okay that you want to be away from your husband. Actually, that is very concerning that you want to be away from him. That is highly concerning
She won't even
because
date him. Is
yeah,
the
it's
thing.
it's like so you did you just want the title of being married without actually having to be in a marriage? Like you could have did that on your own. You could have just found somebody, say, hey, let's get married, boom, and then did your thing. It's called
It's not
spouse
that.
abandonment, but I'm trying to figure it out because I don't understand Courtney. I just don't. I don't understand her.
I think most people don't have the mindset to just get married like that. I don't think she wanted to just get married like that either. But what I will say about Caitlyn is your dad threw that big ass fit for you to be the red flag.
That's another thing yes.
He threw
So
a
it's
big fit and you the
clearly
problem.
no. Well, here's the thing. He gets his daughter's point of view, which is fair because that is his child. I totally get that. But when she came to us, she said that she's been in every, red flag relationship by all means no demand, like every single toxic relationship she has been in. That was her spill coming on this show. So now it makes me wonder, because of these
She's the
little friends,
toxicity
are
in her
you the toxicity?
relationship.
Are you the common denominator of why those relationships don't work? And I'm sure the other men had their issues too. I'm not trying to put that on her, but it just seems like if you're experiencing the same issues over and over again and then you're bringing it into this marriage as well, I see two issues off the strength of you already. One, you may be a little bit more selfish than you would like to admit, and two, them friends ain't shit.
Her friends aren't shit. And
Yeah.
this is another good life example. Not everything that glitters is gold, baby. Just because
Yes.
people are married does not mean it is perfect. Just because they do stuff the way they do in their marriage does not mean that that's how stuff will be done for you and yours and your own relationship. Caitlyn is a child and she just needs to grow up. I don't know why she's here. If I were the experts, I would kick her off of the show,
I would
because
too.
I think of everybody on the show, she has given the least. She seems the most unhappy, and the way that she seems unhappy is in a way that she just seems like she doesn't want a relationship, let alone a marriage. But getting into the couples therapy, which is episode 9, the group therapy was a great idea. I think it's an opportunity for everyone to get called out, but also for everyone to be real to a certain extent. Now we're going to start with Adam and Marissa. Paul called out Adam better than anybody could have. Adam came in with his shirt like unbuttoned, and he was like, oh yeah, let me button this up. Why did you walk in with your shirt unbuttoned just to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna button this up? Like, bro, like people don't like shit like that. That's probably why you're alone. Adam's the type of guy who finds a lot wrong with women before they find something wrong with him.
Yep.
Or I feel like he dates women, it'll probably go well, but when they start to call out and see what's wrong with him, he breaks up with them before they could do it to him.
Yep.
I think everything with him is a competition. He just wants to win. He wants that number one score. He's me on games. Like, it's not okay. Now, they called out his narcissism. They were like, it seems like you always have to be the moment. And the experts point out the fact that there's no deep conversations in the relationship. And they point out to Adam, like, well, why would you come in if you knew that you were coming into the setting and would have to button up your shirt? Why come in with the shirt unbuttoned? You were doing that for a moment to bring it on yourself. He had no argument. The only thing he could say, well, I was out there climbing a wall. Why the fuck are you climbing a wall before you go into therapy? Why not talk to your spouse like whatever comes up, even if we have a bad moment, I'm still committed to you. I just want to let you know that that's the type of preparation for couples therapy that I would be okay with seeing, not the foolery that he was doing. Now, they called out that he lacks depth. And the female expert points out the fact that, are you aware of the situation with Marissa's dad? And he's like, no. Because he didn't give a fuck to ask a question.
Right.
He didn't care to ask a question. And that's the part, you have to always be curious and always be looking to get to know and find things interesting and learn about your spouse. You shouldn't just be cohabitating without speaking. No, like you should be talking. Like I do a lot with my spouse, but there are times when we're in the house, there's no TV, there's no phones, there's no books, there's no nothing, and we'll just talk to each other. If you take away every single piece of technology, and I think that's why there were so many breakups and divorce during COVID, because people were forced to actually be around their spouses.
Yep.
Okay. And the couples that made it are still together for the most part. The couples that did it. Because if you don't know how to carry a conversation or entertain each other, then do you really have a deep connection? So they're trying to show this to Adam and Marissa. They bring up her dad. She does get emotional. It just sounds like she doesn't have the best situation with her father at all. She described her father as being narcissistic. And I found it interesting that she called her father a narcissist, but is attracted to Adam, who is a textbook narcissist. See, people think that narcissists are always assholes and harmful. Narcissism can also look pretty in pink. Like
very charming.
Narcissism can be exactly extremely charming. And I think Adam's a good teaching point for a lot of people, because a lot of people, I noticed that's the first thing a lot of single people said, oh yeah, this person was a narcissist. I can't deal with that. People loosely use that term without even a basis or deeper understanding of what it means. Like, and Marissa is one of those people, and nothing is wrong with it, because you just identified qualities in your father that hurt you, but those same qualities are being pointed out to you in your face about Adam. And it's like, he continues to use joking as a deflection, and Paul stayed on him about that. I don't know. They ask if they would say yes. They ask all the couples this. They ask, if today were decision day, what would your answer be? Adam and Marissa both said that they would say yes if today were decision day. And that worries me. That really worries me, more so for Marissa. I stopped taking Adam seriously when the doctor had to make him dump somebody he was dating to go on a show called Married at First Sight. We're not going to take you seriously at that point. But Marissa, you have trauma. You're aware of it. And I feel like she's afraid to speak up because of that trauma relating to her dad. And this is another man, so it's carrying over.
Yep.
I hope she figures it out, but I don't think they're going to last. And he's an obnoxious jock that won't grow up. But how did you feel about them in couples therapy?
I felt, to me, when I was watching them, I'm glad that they were calling out the red flags, because I feel like, what's the guy's name, the expert? I always forget his name. I feel like he's been calling Adam out from the beginning, and he needs to continue to do that, because the problem with Adam is, once again, like we said, Adam likes to be the smartest, the class clown, the everything in the room that draws all the attention to him. He's attention seeking, and usually someone who draws in all those qualities is usually not somebody that gets married, or when they do get married, their partner is usually miserable. And I think, once again, Marissa is being passive because she's scared of, one, disappointing him because of how attracted she is to him. And two, it's also victim of her own circumstances. It's also the pattern that she did not break, because it sounds like Adam is a lot like her father. Mm-hmm. If we're put into context without even knowing the man, it sounds like Adam is a lot like your father. And the experts did get it right as far as the pattern and the pathology of your own life trickling down, because it seemed like you're doing exactly what your mother did, which was not say anything, not say things that bothered you in your relationship. You said your mother did that. You're doing it right now, because I'm sure a lot of what Adam is doing bothers you. You just won't say it.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. She don't want to speak up, and it's sad. And it just shows how much damage parents can do to us. That's why it's so important. Take your time having kids. Don't have your kids to keep the man. If you're a man, don't have your kids to keep the women, because they be trapping women just as much, y'all. Okay. But like, make informed decisions when it comes to who you marry and have kids with, because you really don't want to make the same mistake twice. Let's get these comments. Shani said, haha, she didn't say my name. So does that mean I'm up there with the importance of Brother Joe? You better take my brother's side all the time. That's a good man. I ain't taking. Fuck him. Okay. I'm just a girl from Oakland,
Child, let
okay?
me
Fuck
explain
him
something
though.
to y'all. Listen, if only y'all know, and I would never expose my friend, but that's my friend. And I would say this. You know what? She is who she is, unapologetically herself. He knows who he married.
He do. He
He knows
do.
who he married. So,
He's a
yeah,
Sagittarius, y'all. He's just as crazy as me, okay? He's just as
they
crazy.
equally yoked in the
Yeah,
crazy. They equally
yeah.
yoked. I love it.
That's probably true. Lord. Oh, yeah, yeah. James, that partner treating you right, doing right by you, he better let him know. We'll come down there with the dogs and she said, we'll put the paws on him. I'm going to put the paws on him. Treat my homie right. She questioned it. Oh, Lord. Lord,
Let's
Lord.
not question that. You know how to get a hold of me, Shan.
He said, you know how to find me.
You know how to find me. I'm not saying that on live.
Button up your shirt. Don't nobody want to see that taco meat on your chest. I love Shetty.
I
I'm
do.
going to New York and I'm going to put a live. Mrs. Best Reviews is on the East Coast. Who could get to me? What direction do I drive? I'm going to go. I'm going to have to go to the East Coast anyway to visit James. If I care about a person, I will visit them. Ask my friend in
Yes, she
Mississippi.
will. She didn't listen. Let me tell y'all something. My surgery was a year ago yesterday, and
Oh,
during my
wow.
recovery, she tried to see me like 3 or 4 times, and I couldn't let her do because I couldn't go anywhere. Y'all, I was literally
I'm
in
trying
my
to help
bed.
you.
I
I
was
get
literally
it.
in my bed, like, and I was like, no, because I'm a good host. I really am. I am somebody. I believe in being a great host when someone comes to see me.
But you're not hosting if you having a surgery. I thought I was coming to be your CNA.
She
Shut
really
up.
was. She was like, no, y'all. She was trying to stay with me for like weeks. It was like, I'm like, girl, you got a whole husband. Stop. But she did, like, she had to kicking and screaming. She was like, I'm gonna bring the motherfucker with me and he gonna come. But that's exactly what our words. And I'm coming to see you. Get ready.
He
Y'all
came.
crutches and all. I'm over here.
It's okay. James had wine with Mr. Best and
I,
some
yeah, it
crutches
was a great
and
time.
Jamaican
I
food.
had a great time. Yes, it was a great time.
Oh, who is next, y'all? Cameron and Michelle. Listen, they're doing better. Shout out to Michelle for, what she told Mecca earlier on. I appreciate Michelle. I think Michelle is very good at
Yes.
explaining herself. I love her. I think she's adorable. She's just sweet as sugar.
I'm trying to tell
But
you.
they're on track. They're a good match. They make sense. He acknowledged that he is not upset that she makes more money than him, but he understands why that would be a concern because for a lot of men, it can feel emasculating. It can feel
Yes.
problematic. But for Cam, he's more concerned about his passion. And honestly, that would be like, let's say me and James were in a marriage together. And I was like, don't write that fucking book. Like, that would be insane. Like, you should always uplift your partner's passions, their
Agreed.
likes. Like, these are the things that matter. Sometimes the things you're passionate about and that you like may not make you the most money, but as long as it's making you enough to survive and you can be self-sufficient, that's enough. So they say they would say yes on decision day. We're not surprised. I don't have much to add except you guys are the only hope we have for this season. So let's keep it up and keep it, get it right, get it tight, keep it together.
Please, y'all, don't disappoint us now, y'all. Because I do believe in this structure. I do believe this can work. But when y'all have to equally show up, equally be there, and have these tough conversations, that's why I like her as well. Cameron, as I said, I'm here and there. I'm here and there with him. But I really love Michelle. And I think she is so, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, she's like mentally, she's definitely there in mature wise. Like, she
Mhm.
just is, like,
She's
very self-aware.
emotionally mature. I think. I think you're correct in that. Just because she understands she has fertility issues because of the fibroids and stuff that she's dealing with. She may not be able to have children on her own, or may have to go on a more intentional or costly route. I like that she spoke about that. She shares her emotions and she moves on. She doesn't dwell on stuff, come back to it. Michelle is emotionally mature in the best ways. I love her. I do. Please stay this way, Michelle.
Yes.
Please. Courtney breaks down about feeling safe. The experts asked Courtney if she knows how to receive someone being into her, which was a valid question because she seems to have issues around sex. She says she's never had great experiences as it relates to sex. I'm feeling like maybe something deeper happened with the sex because people,
Yeah.
they get cheated on all the time. This is common, unfortunately. Most Americans have been cheated on. Most people have experienced cheating at one point or the other, but it doesn't break them into where they detach and are unable to have sex. Now, I do think that something more may have happened to Courtney that she may not want to talk about, and that's okay. I'm not going to force her to, but I think she needs more individual therapy than she does group therapy. And I think that
Yes.
Courtney needs to be alone while she's getting that therapy instead of trying to date. They call bullshit on Nick, though, because he was like, I feel like I've been trying and, and it just, seems a little difficult. And they ask Nick to give a notion of something about himself that nobody knows that he can mention so that Courtney can know something about him deep. And he struggled. He's like, I'd have to think about that. You'd have to think about that?
You have to think about that? What is that to think about?
There's nothing to think about. And Paul said it the best way. It doesn't have to wow us. It doesn't have to wow the camera. It's something impactful to you.
Yeah.
That you view as important or vital or as a deep part of yourself that you could share with her. He was not able to share shit. And then when he did share stuff, it was just a surface statement. Oh, being on TV shows, I guess I'm always concerned about being judged. You went to MIT. It sounds like you were goofy and well-liked at your place. Most people, if they judge you, it's a positive judgment just based on where you went to school. Okay?
Right.
I don't understand what this is. He's extremely surface. And Courtney cries and hollers about 20 other things instead of saying what came out in the group therapy, which was she doesn't feel comfortable because he's not giving his authentic self. That's what I got from it. Now, I do think that her past is impactful as well. However, I feel like it's more so the fact that he's on these shows because she keeps bringing it up. And you do question the authenticity of someone on the shows. Like, let's say we were to meet Portia Williams right now, off camera, I wouldn't trust her not because of what she's done on the show, but just you've made a career on TV. How do I know I'm getting the real you? It would take a long time to trust her. But I feel like Courtney and Nick are both the problem, if I'm being entirely honest.
Mm-hmm.
Unseasoned taco meat eating ass people. I definitely feel like they are both problematic. I don't think either of them are ready for a relationship, if I'm being honest. I don't want Married at First Sight to do this anymore. Don't do this, Peacock. I don't want people on this show who have been on reality show after reality show after reality show. It just takes away a certain level of honesty, or at least the perception.
It's inauthentic because at the end of the day, we don't know if you're really here for a marriage or for you to get a second coming of or a fifth coming. I don't know how many reality TV shows he's been on, but a fifth coming of some type of celebrity status. Like I just think that it's so inauthentic. And the problem is a way he could have shut all that down is saying, I feel like I am being judged all the time by me being on reality TV, yet another show.
I think he's full of shit, though, because
I do too.
He likes being on reality TV. And if we go back to their wedding, he was excited to tell people he's been on TV before.
Right.
So if you're so uncomfortable with it, then why are you so proud of it?
Because, and that's the thing, we don't know. Like, to me, it seems like he's not ashamed to say he's been on reality TV, but then he uses it as a way for it to follow some type of shame that people are giving him for not being authentic, because that's the reality TV game.
It's
you
like
have people pry into you.
Mm-hmm. You guys don't recognize me?
Yes, that's a good example.
So I'm like,
yes.
You fake as hell, Nick. You are, but also you got matched with somebody problematic.
They gave you your karma, because Courtney is definitely, like, I don't know what's going on up in there. I just really don't. Like, the moment I think I somewhat can see her point of view, she goes way to the left. Way to the left.
All the way to
and
the
it's
left.
Like, okay, so now I'm lost on how we got here, because it was kind of like someone slapping you out of nowhere and you like, well, wait a minute, like, what happened? So that's what Courtney's giving. And so, yeah, I think
Child.
equally the experts got it right because I think they need to learn a lesson from each other. I do. I think they need to learn a lesson from each other.
Yep.
Marriage is not the way to do it, though.
No, that's the part I agree with. I think the end of decision day should be them getting married versus them just getting married. But I get that takes away from married at first sight. But I think realistically, it's fair to the courts too, because the courts gonna start putting implications on marriages because of shows like this.
They need to.
But I definitely wish Married at First Sight was done differently, where you get together, you do like the trip, because traveling with someone, it doesn't have to be a honeymoon. You find out a lot about people when you travel with them. You really do. So they need to do it a little backwards, maybe put the wedding at the end. But
Or just do it like a nuptials where it's not legalized. And
yeah,
let the season finale be in, do you want to make this legal now? And then
yeah,
they can sign the papers and then go about their merry way. I think they're jumping the gun onto this and then obligating these people to now have something else on their public record that they don't need to have and have to explain that away. So I just feel like, for me, I agree with you. I think that definitely they should have a marriage end goal. And if you want to make marriage the center of the show, don't make it legal yet. Wait until after they do the experiment and then come with the legal paperwork and the notarized county clerk to finalize it there.
yeah.
Do it like that.
They're doing too much. I don't like it, but hey, but them two are a mess. Felipe and Tori. Felipe mentioning his concerns about losing passion and realizing, he said, I thought I was committed, like I felt pretty committed, but I'm starting to realize I have to commit every day. What the fuck did you think? This isn't even about marriage. Do y'all understand that being in a relationship is committing to that person every day?
I mean,
I
don't know how clear people can make it.
What happened in his childhood? Because your dad is so on point, your family's so together, but then you're just this fuckboy that doesn't want to grow up. He says he becomes avoidant and moves on to the next person once the passion is gone, which is telling me he's quickly bored of Tori already and wants to go get some new pussy.
Yep.
Okay. That's what it's telling me, which is crazy. I don't know who's giving it to him with that haircut and that mustache, but I mean, somebody is. And Paul encourages him to remain curious, which is the best advice any man could give to a man with a woman. And really, to a man with a man, a woman with a woman, curiosity is key. You have to always care about your partner's interests, their new hobbies, new friends, ask questions, how was work. Couples that are not curious with each other are not going to make it. They say curiosity unalive the cat, but curiosity will help your relationship to thrive. So
I agree.
I hope that people pay attention to that. But Tori explains that she's used to panicking alone. We do see that they have had intimate moments without her running off since they had sex. And I think that's why Felipe is talking about that passion. I think he's bored of the sex that he's having with her. And this is where, like, people always think that sex is a problem in marriage. I have sex more today with my spouse than I did when we was first getting together. So the marriages where the sex dies, those marriages have other problems or deeper problems there. I promise you, most people in marriages getting it popping probably more than the single folk, as quiet as it's kept. But
I agree. Yeah.
I think the difference is if you choose that person that you're married to, it's easier to stay curious. It's easier to care. There's no love invested. And Felipe, in my opinion, I don't think he's all bad, but I think an experiment like Married at First Sight is too much for him too soon, which causes him to get bored. He needs a dating show where he would like slowly date the person, like what Courtney keeps talking about. Felipe gives someone who needs slow burn type of dating. But I don't think he could do it on his own because I think he has a lot of growth to do. And I don't think he'll be able to do that with this show. And that's part of why I don't have hopes for him and Tori. Like, I'm enjoying watching them, but every episode I do see less passion, not on her part, more so on her and on his end. So I'm curious about that. But after discussing all of that, they both claim they would say yes if it was decision day today. This is why the divorce rate is so high in America, because people just be saying yes to stuff and I'll do this and ask questions later. And then people end up alone. And that's why people make a joke of American love and marriages. Like, what? How did you feel about Felipe and Tori?
I feel like they're hiding something that
Mm.
they don't want the viewing public to see on both ends. I don't know if, intellectually or in cohorts with each other, that they both are hiding the same thing. I think they're both hiding something different.
Mm.
And I think that the words are the puzzle. And I think that they're saying it's just not in clear context. So we're not picking up on it, because I don't know how we go from everything is meshing, we're doing well, to I'm now losing passion. I done finally fucked him and now I have to go sleep on the couch. I don't know how we have that kind of disconnect so far when sex just complicated the matter. So I don't know if everything was going well and then the sex disconnected them, because that can happen too. Because sex can change emotions. You may think, okay, well, you know what? Hey, everything is going well. Okay, I finally had sex. Okay, it wasn't what I expected. I think the sex bored her. And I think that she is embarrassed to admit that. I do.
A lot of men like Felipe that have the history of being the party boy, the fuck boy, are not good in bed.
Yes.
So I would see that, but we're going to move on to Mecca and Belle Jolie. He loudly announced that they had sex. So it took you a lot to get it up for her. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Okay, well, it changed.
Right. Now they asked Belle if she feels more desired by him, and she has the audacity to say that she has never not felt desired by him. You're literally on camera, recorded in your confessional, saying, Belle, that you felt the way because he was not as attracted to you and you felt less desired. Now, because you're in front of them, and I get it, Belle has that attitude that a lot of Black women have when they get in relationships. I'm going to stick beside him. I'm going to defend my man. You're in a controlled therapeutic setting. This is not the place to have that it's us against the world attitude, young lady. This is the place to lay it all on the line and be real, authentic, vulnerable, and fucking raw.
Yep.
You're defending a nigga who don't even want you like that, for real, sis. You defending a nigga that wants a nigga himself, but he can't do that because his daddy will probably have all sorts of problems with it, and his grandma. I don't care what nobody said. They're Black excellence, but they would not be okay if they Black son brought home a Black son-in-law. Okay, that's what they give. But Paul says to Mecca that he has never actually chosen Belle, which I thought was the best observation, because he hasn't. He still acted like he's trying to decide, and it's like, what are you doing? But I kind of knew Mecca was problematic when he threw a fit about not getting a kiss at the altar from a person he just met. And I feel like he never quite got out of that, and it's just been spiraling since. But they call out Mecca blocking his opportunities for love. Belle was so kind in her words to him, and that's why it's unfortunate she's with this Negro, because she is capable of uplifting a man in the way that he needs when he may not feel safe. And I think it's a waste on Mecca. I'm not saying I think Mecca is a bad person. I think he's a great person, but I think he has internal struggles that he is dealing with that relate to his childhood, his mother, his trauma, and his sexuality. I may be wrong, but that's what he gives. And I think it's unfair of him and the experts to see that and to still match him and put him in a relationship, because he displayed it before he even got with her to the experts. But I agree. Felipe explained it the best way. Belle is ready for a relationship. Mecca is not ready for a relationship. They're not in the same place. And when you have one person who's ready in a relationship and one who's not, you have no relationship. You can call it that all you want, but it's a joke. It's not a relationship. So I don't think anybody on the cast takes Mecca and Belle seriously. Michelle gave words to Mecca and explained he was overly performative with how he is with her and has not been the most authentic. And Mecca explained later on after the therapy, like, that he took that to heart because Michelle is one of the most genuine people and level-headed people that are there, and he values her opinion. And I like that. He values the opinion of people that are genuine and level-headed. But why can't you value the opinion of Belle Jolie? Because I would also say that Belle Jolie gives someone that is level-headed. But I get that because he's in it with her, he may not be able to see it from that perspective. But I just want Mecca to open up or leave Belle. I think it's unfair to waste anybody's time when you know that you're not ready for a relationship. That's actually a form of emotional abuse, which people don't understand. If you're in a relationship and you're not giving your partner affection, if you're in a relationship and you're not spending time with your partner, like it could be something as simple as like going to a concert, going out to dinner together, going to a bar together. Like if you're not spending time with your partner, doing all of these things that come with a relationship, like you are wrong. You're gaslighting them, you're love bombing them, and that's not okay. But these two claim they'd say undecided on decision day, which made me happy because they clearly have not made a decision. I think Belle wants it to work with Mecca, but I question why she wants it to work with someone who doesn't know the same and has not displayed the same for her. But how did you feel about Mecca and Belle Jolie's group therapy?
I love that they got called out. I actually was here for it because Mecca is performing just like his dad did on the day of their wedding. That was a performance. That was, I want to be seen. I want to be heard. That trickles down to the household he was raised in because Mecca operates in that same form. When he's seen and when he's heard is when he gloats. The moment someone calls that down or on quote unquote him shrieking himself because he feels insecure, that's when he starts to get mad at the world and angry and then punishes everybody around him for it. He's punishing Bella Jolie by keeping her surfaced. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that she's sticking beside him because of her own personal trauma she has with her father. And I think that she is doing herself a disservice by not calling that out and not saying, no, you're not going to treat me that way. Or no, you're not going to keep me at this level. You either want me or you don't. So I can go find the person I'm meant to be with then. Because at the end of the day, I feel like for them, this is more hurtful to them than it is helping them. Because neither one of them are trying to see the issues. She's not trying to see the issues, and neither is he.
I agree. That's the best way to explain it. They're not looking into the actual issues that is going on. But I also, does the expert not have a gaydar? Because he gives it more than anybody on this cast, him and Sean. That's all. Nothing wrong with it. What it was, what the problem is being on the DL. That shit is evil. I don't care what nobody says. That shit is fucking evil. There's no excuse for it. Nothing makes it okay. It's not okay. And I want the production to like, come on. He's not giving her affection. It took him. You have to make affection and sex homework. Then they get there. He wants to shout it out to everybody. Like, it should not be this hard. Most men, connection or not, would fuck her. So I don't understand why he moving the way he moves, but
especially when they have legal binding paperwork to do so. So exactly. Yeah, I just feel like once again, he told on himself and he tried to reverse it. And I think that because he knew that wasn't going to sound right when he said, you're more attracted to me than I am to you. He knew that wasn't going to play out right.
Sabotaging
intentionally. So yes, exactly. So what he did was he breadcrumbed. Okay, I'm going to give you sex, but I'm about to make it hard as hell for you after I give it to you.
He's terrible.
That's terrible. That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to do to somebody.
Mecca is cool. He's handsome. He's successful. I just want him to live in his truth and figure out his trauma before he dates anybody, a woman, a man, or hell, a leopard. Don't date nobody until you figure out your trauma and figure out how to shut your dad the hell up. That's just how I feel. Nikki and Sean. There's been a miraculous change. And Sean has reflected. These niggas ain't genuine. I'm not even going to waste my time on their discussion. They're not genuine. It's not resonated. If they end up together, I probably won't come back and recap this show. Nikki and Sean are not compatible at all. The only thing compatible about them is their income and their intellect. However, there's still differences between their income and their intellect. These people are not compatible, not as friends, not as a couple. They're just not compatible. And that's okay. They say they are undecided. But what pissed me off was them trying to make it seem like they just talked to the doctors once and figured everything out. And Sean even tried to defend it, saying, see, unlike the rest of you, we've had a very chaotic time. Come out the closet, Sean. Okay. But on top of saying that they have had a chaotic time, he's saying that they've gotten all the bad out the way first compared to the other couples, where the other couples are now starting to have problems. The fact that you have problems so soon, sir, is still problematic. The other couples may be having problems now, but they're only 2 weeks in. it actually makes sense for you guys to have gotten along for the first few weeks and then started to have problems. Sean tried to manipulate the audience and spend it as, well, we've done things differently. No, you haven't done things differently, you bitch made nigga. The things that are the problem have been you. Yes, her ego is problematic, but sir, you don't use soap. You are obnoxious. You beg for kisses the way a kid begs for candy in the store. Like, you're awkward and you're so quick to call her out. But whenever it comes time for you to be called out, you run or you sit quiet. So while it takes two to tango, there's one person stepping on everybody's toes, and it's Sean. And I don't like that the experts are not holding them accountable. They came down on everybody. But in this scene with Sean and Nikki, they didn't come down on them the way they came down on Adam, the way they came down on Caitlyn, the way they got at Felipe. Sean needs someone to dig in his ass. And I feel like he remembered what that doctor said just so that he could repeat it back and not get pushback.
Yep.
Because doctors have egos too. Experts have egos. Clinicians have egos too. I work with them all the time and I see it. And they don't want to look like they wrong. They just want to look like someone received their advice. But I don't care for Nikki and Sean. So I'll give the floor to James before I move on to the last couple.
I don't care for them either. I think that, to me, once again, this was a disservice to her. And I would ask for more compensation for wasting my time and making me marry this person who y'all knew from day one, because y'all can't tell me them experts really thought in their minds that these two were going to be a match. I feel like they put something on her that was not deserving of her and held her hostage to it. And now she has to finish out this experience, having her integrity questioned, having this man gaslight her, and then coming to us talking about, well, our problem started out at the beginning. So, using that psychological term, things have to get worse before they get better. You're not playing with anybody but yourselves, because those of us who have common sense and have, the strength to understand what that truly does mean knows that was bullshit the moment you said it. I think it looks good to the rest of the couples, the ones who actually bought it. I think it looks good to them because in the greater respect of it all, they're not in the house with y'all, so they don't know. But those of us who've been around the block know better and know that was a crock of shit that you were saying, Sean. It just sounded good coming out your mouth because you're the professor. You're literally paid for people to hear what you got to say. That's it. That's all. So when you that kind of person, oh yeah, definitely it makes sense to people who buy it. But because I've already been in the realm of working out of college and understood how professors are and understood how people in your position can be, I didn't buy it. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care.
I agree. My bad.
No, you could.
The package people don't always listen in my building. We have lockers and like a whole package room. So I'm in I don't want to call it a luxury apartment building and sound bougie, but that is what it is. But we got a ratchet hoe named Fatima that work in the office and always moving people's package. So you be seeing the color list. Why would you touch my package if it's in the room? They be going off on her, giving whole speeches. Lord, I guess they did something with my package, but my husband don't handle it because I done cussed her out too many times. Let me get Shanny's comment. This mofo sound like he acted like he too good for her. Are you some type of billionaire mogul, or are you the dude that paints the yellow lines for the street and puts the cones down? Shanny, I need to send you a link. I'm going to remember and coordinate it so that we can get Shanny up here eventually. I got to get you up here before I go to Bali. I'm going to definitely get Shanny up here. I have to. Devin and Caitlyn, y'all. Devin explains he's dialing back his personality for her. No one should ever diminish themselves at all to be in a relationship. Love does not, and I believe the doctor said this, love does not require you to censor, change, or lessen any part of yourself. The best part about being in love for me is that I could be crazy, going off, mad, and I'm still accepted. That's how it should be for everybody. Okay? Your partner, you can have problems and you find compromise, but it shouldn't be just one person doing all the work or making changes. That's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. Now, they call out Devin in a positive way. They say they would argue that Devin was the most committed person to the married at first sight process in the room, which I agreed with. But did y'all peep that when they said that, Caitlyn's face had an attitude? She looked like a little teenage girl who was getting grounded. Why the fuck you got an attitude because they say he's the most committed person? Because you know it makes you look bad.
Yep.
Because you are throwing this fit with the guy who is so committed to the process and trying when you can't give him not even a half of a fucking inch, which is crazy. If anything, your dad should have been apologizing at the wedding and saying, for whatever my daughter does, I apologize. But instead it's something more. And Paul, you know, Caitlyn says that she wants him to change for her, essentially, because she keeps saying, she's like, you know, he wants all this affection and stuff, but I'm in my life of peace. I don't really want chaos. How is someone giving you love not peaceful? How is him trying to be affectionate with you not peaceful? Bitch, you are the problem. Did you just want to be on TV or something? Because your friends are married, but they may not be married that long, and you may not either, if you can get a man to want to marry you. Because if I was a man watching this show, I would avoid you like the plague, Caitlyn. Being pretty is not enough, baby girl. It's given privilege. It's given privilege. Not white privilege, but pretty privilege.
Yeah.
It's given pretty privilege. I don't understand why Caitlyn moves the way that she moves, but Paul explained to her that she is wrong. And she says she needs someone who's going to ground her. Grounding people can be affectionate. So because his personality is more, you don't feel grounded. Fun fact, what Paul said to her was true. Nobody's responsible for fucking grounding you except yourself.
Yep.
Now, when I'm upset, my man's going to try and calm me down. And yes, when I'm with him, I do feel centered and grounded. However, it's my job to ensure that I feel grounded. It's my job to stay grounded. And if I don't feel grounded, then that's when I speak up about that or make changes to get back grounded. Caitlyn can't say what he's doing that doesn't ground her. All she says is that he wants to give her affection, and she complains about that. She views the affection as chaos, and he mentions that she never wants to talk about the fact that she's so flighty. This is more than flighty. I don't think she likes him because her friends talked about his hair. I'm going to just call it that. I think she's that shallow because she's already admitted that her friend's opinion seems to matter more than her family's opinion. I would expect someone to say, if my family doesn't like you, I'll pull back. Not if your friends don't like someone, you'll pull back. So I think that Caitlyn's the problem. She is self-centered. She's unrealistic in her expectations for a relationship as a whole. And they said they would be undecided. But personally, I want him to dump this girl. I am so sick of the rigmarole that these people are doing. I'm genuinely tired of Caitlyn. She can go. She's not good TV. She's annoying. And she's wasting everybody's time. I'm not going to come at her as a person, but she can go. Let her live in her own delusions and be alone until she's 40. And maybe then she'll reflect and try to figure out why she's alone. But I don't have faith for Caitlyn at all. I really don't. But how did you feel about Devin and Caitlyn? I felt like the experts came down on her, but she just seemed to not receive any of it and showed how self-centered she is.
She definitely showed how self-centered she was. I don't have faith in her either. I feel like, to me, Devin and Nikki need to go to the experts and start, making some complaints in compensation for their time. Because once again, this is a situation where I think she played to get on TV and she in too deep. Because there's no way that this should be this damn hard. And then once again, circling back to that dad, I think that there's something else going on there too.
I agree.
That she's not expanding on. There's something that's not right there. And the reason why I circle back to that dad is because I don't know if this was to spite him. Because to me, there was so much focus on that. And I think that because we're not in that episode anymore, we went over our heads. But it just seems like, because in the beginning of this situation, I would have never thought on episode 7, 8, and 9, this is how she would have ended up if we're basing her response on episode 1 and going through with the wedding and the honeymoon versus where we are today. It just seems like we got a night and day person.
Yep. She did change. Like the
Yes.
moment they got married, everything changed.
Everything changed. So it was kind of like, okay, now I got to go back to the beginning with you because I can't find in between of what happened and why you were this way. So now I'm going back to episode 1, and all I could remember vividly from her marriage was her dad acted a fool and didn't want to do this. She said she didn't give a fuck. She was marrying this man. So now I kind of feel like, okay, so you did this despite your dad. And now that that happened, now you're going back to who you were before the marriage.
That's the truth.
That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong one way or the other, but it just, to me, there's no way that code switch should have happened just like that.
She's either, I think this is why all her relationships end though, because she said that this has been a problem, and she is so fucking spoiled that she refuses to see that she's a part of it, and she blames the other party, it seems. But we will get more into Caitlyn and Devin and the rest of the couples again next week, y'all. That was it for this review of Married at First Sight. They dropped 3 episodes at once, so that is why this video is so long. So I do apologize. I will go through after the video processes and put in the little markers for what and who we're discussing for those who want to flip through the replay to get to what you care for. But other than that, for those who watch Love After Lockup, I'm going to be going live right after this live ends to do my live with Love After Lockup with Kiwan, JTB, and James. Tomorrow, I will have my review for Put a Ring on It Cheat Hab up. I will also have my review for Fightland, which is a new show on Stars, up. My Raising Kanan review will be up later today. Lord. And then next week, we have Ultimate Girls Trip for the Housewives coming back. That's going to be, I think it's the 7th or the 9th. That is coming back. And then Age Inappropriate, I will be covering on my channel. It's a new WeTV show that is coming. There's a lot coming, y'all. There is a lot coming. September, we have Snowfall to Drop and some other stuff. But I appreciate everyone for supporting the channel. If you are interested in subscribing to James's channel, the link to his channel is in the description of this video. For those who may not come to the next video, we will be live on James's channel tomorrow. I know for sure we're going to do Bell Collective and Heart and Hustle Houston. It's the reunion, right?
Reunion, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're in the reunion. That's fast. Okay. But that is really all I have. Do you have anything else I might have missed happening on your channel? No,
you're good. Yeah.
All right. Well, love and light to everybody. A big thug life. And I will see y'all next time. I have to tinkle. Au revoir.